fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for, we callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Lance. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill. When we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Podium podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
It's your boy Melly Mac.
I like when you say live. Make it feel like Vince McMahon's on this show somewhere, you know. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Okay, this is 40 Keys. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling?
You are out of control right now.
That's what y'all pay me for.
No.
No?
We don't get paid.
I gotta renegotiate my contract.
Yeah, something like that. We'll figure it out. I'm looking for our overlay, but this ain't working right. StreamYard ain't working right now. Yeah. All right. Well, hey.
Oh yeah, you spelled the thumbnail wrong too.
I spelled the thumbnail wrong?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
You said SNOW. SCHNOW.
No!
Snowball.
You starting already.
The Snowball.
No, I will not tolerate the foolishness in this studio.
You know who will though?
Who?
John Feliciano.
John, yeah.
Nah.
Yo.
Yesterday was hilarious.
What happened?
Yeah.
You want or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're real close to the field. So
Okay.
you know, we're on the 49ers side, so we can pretty much hear and see everything. So we see this larger gentleman in a red jacket with a hood up. Turns around after he gets hit in the back with a snowball. It's John Feliciano. So he's on that boy like, hit me, throw it at me, throw it. You know, he's like, hit me, come on. So like they're throwing snowballs at him now. Hit him a couple of times. And he's laughing, but he didn't. I guess they called him to do something. So he's like, I'll be right back. Mal, am I lying? He's like, hold on, I'll be right back. He told the fans, hold on. Walked away, came back. And about for second, third quarter, he started throwing snowballs back at the fans.
That's amazing.
It was great. It was him. It was funny.
Wow. Okay.
And he had on J's.
Yeah, he had on Jordans.
In the snow.
Let's go, Feliciano. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
See, when you make millions, you can afford to wear J's in the snow, man. That's what it is.
It was funny, though, because in the beginning of the game, like everybody was cool with the snowballs. But as they kept scoring them touchdowns, they started to get irritated with them snowballs.
They kept coming hard. They were coming harder.
Matter of fact, the fourth quarter, he picked up a bunch. He was throwing them back at the fans. Like, he was like, yo.
Because he ain't like him throwing the snowballs at him?
So for the most part, I got to give him credit. Because I'm gonna be real. If I'm out there in the cold, I'm not playing, and my team losing, and I'm getting belt by snowballs, like, all right, a couple is fine. Like, all right, yo, listen, can y'all stop with the snowballs? Like, I'm getting pissed off now. So I don't know if he was pissed off or not, but he played it off really, really well. But like I said, in the fourth quarter, he was coming back at him with them snowballs.
Yeah, they was flinging, and it was interesting because a lot of the guys on the sideline, they like didn't get the hint. You know, they get the Parkers on their helmets, so they're like, you see them get hit, and they're like, what was that? Like, it was a snowball, fool. So then after a while, the one guy I saw,
Lucky it wasn't batteries.
I know. One time I saw the guy, he sold for his man. He saw it coming. He dipped out the way and hit his man in the back of the head. I'm like, fam, you got to eat that or put your hand up or something. Then somebody hit one of the reporters too.
Wow.
The security tried to grab it, but it exploded in his hand. And she's like, "What the hell?"
Bro, they was hitting the cameraman. They had a double-decker So, like, they had their little joints on. They was like this on the little joint, right? But they had a double-decker joint. I'm like, yo, what's up with the double-decker?
If anybody wants
to... So it's like when they be trying to hit the golf cart.
Yeah. If anybody wants a reference, remember the episode of the Cosby where they had the Macbeth? And they had to go out on the stoop and get the album, and the kids kept throwing it. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop. Like, dang.
Remember when Cliff came out there? He said, better not throw any snowballs at me. He came in there. He got it. As soon as he came back,
lit his back up.
Pow!
Tore him to shreds. Yeah, that was one of the most memorable things from yesterday.
See, this is the angle this show has been missing this whole time. We need all the detail, the inside stuff. Like, who would have reported that people were throwing snowballs at John Feliciano? Us.
Us.
Only us.
Us.
That's amazing. And then for him to throw snowballs back, I mean, it's probably a lawsuit at some point. But, I mean, you never find out about it unless you watch this show.
Yeah, I think he went over to the crowd, and he said he was talking to some of the fans after a while. So
they had a couple security guards pointing and, like, this dude over here. Like,
yep,
they were scheming.
Slowly but surely, he was like, we got one over in row 6.
Silas asks, where were y'all at?
So we are 100 level visitor side, right by the 25-yard line.
So basically, where the Amari Cooper lateral happened was almost right in front of us.
Oh, that's amazing, y'all!
Right there.
Wow.
So matter of fact, we was right by the San Francisco 49ers blue medical tent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pissed, because I told Key,
he was so mad.
I said, I want the Bills to win, but I need Run CMC to go off because I got him in 2 fantasy leagues, and I need to win.
He was more so mad at you, but still.
Why is he mad at me?
You know why.
Should we bring up 114 points? 114 points by one player on one play.
Who's not even a skilled player.
Like, in the context of the rules, it's legit. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So what Melly Mac is talking about is in the Post Podium Podcast Fantasy League, the Triple P Fantasy League. I have the scoring set up so that if a defensive player gets a turnover, like a fumble, a recovery, or an interception or something like that, they get 1 point per yard that they gain after that return. Now, it's extremely rare to have things happen like what happened yesterday, where what's the dude's name? Leonard Williams tips a ball, catches it off. I think it was an Aaron Rodgers interception.
A defensive lineman.
Yeah, tips the ball, catches it, and runs it back 92 yards for a touchdown. That don't happen that often.
He's 300 pounds, and he ran 92 yards, and nobody caught him.
This is not Sam Adams.
How is that possible?
But that's why I thought the scoring was okay, because how often is that actually going to happen?
It's not okay because it's not happened for me. It's not happened at all for me.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it would have been cool if it was a safety or a cornerback.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was a 300-pound lineman and nobody could catch him.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even a skilled player.
It just adds the salt to the injury.
Yeah, he's got probably safeties at 65 points or something like that.
Oh, Snap Silas was in the house. He said I was in 108 right in front of the Mac Hollins score.
Oh,
so basically,
okay, you're on the other side.
The other side.
Yeah.
You should have let us know. We would have caught up with you.
Yeah. Hit us up next time, man. Laura says the rules are the rules.
Well, Laura, this affects you too somehow. So yeah, I guess
I just hope it was entertaining for El Boogie because she said she had her popcorn ready when we was duking it out. So I hope it was entertaining for her.
Yeah, it was definitely entertaining. I swore I was about to lose, and I probably lost in the grander scheme of things because I lost CMC for the season, and friggin' Jordan Mason is down for the rest of the season.
Both
yes,
IR.
bro.
Yep.
Yes.
So
what?
Your thoughts?
Yes, bro.
Don't do it.
Oh no! I'm screwed now for the rest of the season.
Here comes Garindo to the wall.
Garindo to the wall. Nicely done.
Yep. So that, I mean, small. I won the battle, but I lost the war essentially. So
evidently,
yeah.
And I've lost everything. I didn't lose. I ain't win no battle. I ain't win no wars.
Mac is on track to change all the rules in the fantasy league. If you aren't aware of the prize for the Triple P Fantasy League, you get to dictate what the rules are for the following season. You can change the scoring, you can change the positions, you can change anything you want to change, and of course you have to send all that information to me, and then I'll change it. But I love
it has to be
what's been
fact checked
so
and proof checked by 2 of the 3. So yeah, we want to make sure it's right this time.
I promise you guys, if I do win, I'm gonna change things for the better.
This is not the presidency.
Right? What are you running for office now?
If I do win, I will change for the better.
I'll make promises and I'll fulfill those promises.
We can't vote for you to win the championship.
I mean, you could purposely sabotage your team so I can win.
Or we can do the opposite to make sure. If you like 114 points from a defensive lineman, this is the guy you want to win. Oh, my gosh. Silas says, was sitting next to a Niners fan who said out loud that he hopes Josh tears an ACL on the next play.
Wow.
Dang. He said very next play, Niners possession, McCaffrey gets hurt. See, there you go.
Karma.
Right off the bat. Hey, I hope that fan is happy. Silas also said he'll be there for the Jets game.
Okay.
McCaffrey was probably drunk, so the guy was probably drunk, so it's okay. We'll let it go.
Yep.
Mel was actually mad. He was still mad that it was still snowing. He was like, "Why is it still snowing? They promised me personally it wasn't going to snow
the whole game, the entire game." And to make matters worse, Key, how long were we in the parking lot, bro?
Fam, that's the DJ award of the day.
Yes.
That's the DJ award for the day. We were in this parking lot that Mel paid a small mortgage for to sit in the parking lot for 2 hours in traffic,
bro,
for 2 hours.
Literally, we were in there for an hour and did not move.
What?
My car did not. I was in there with the full post-game show on.
We listened to
with
the
my
whole
foot on the
postgame
brake.
show.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
All songs, red lights. We didn't move for an hour.
It was more than that. It was literally
it was more than that?
Oh, yeah, it was
Well,
more than that.
when you sit in the passenger side, time goes slower. Apparently,
I downloaded a new game, built up my man and everything by the time we got on the street.
Yo, I don't know if it was a combination of the snow or if it was an accident or I don't know what happened, but we left early, bro. Like, soon as Josh came out, like, all right, we out of here. Like, once they put the starters, like, all right, we're out of here. Yeah. No, we still, it was.
That's what I would have did. I mean,
horrendous.
y'all listen, y'all bared it out. Y'all went out there with the rest of the mafia. Y'all toughed it out. Did y'all have to stand the whole game?
Yeah.
Or were y'all sitting on snow piles?
No, we had to stand. Only because of the area stood. The seats were there. Yeah. We could have sat.
I mean, yeah, we sat for a minute, like during the
halftime.
Terrible halftime show.
No, it's not terrible.
Yo. So they didn't do the
no, whatever it was he said they were supposed to do.
The drone show.
Yeah. Oh man.
Weather, because it was snowing the whole time.
No, but honestly, it was funny because it hurt my heart to leave, but he was my ride. And I was like, you know what? I got to go to work tomorrow. So let me go ahead and cut my loss to get out of here. No, we should have stayed.
Yo, honestly, we really should have. Like, I figure I'm going to get him home quickly, get me home quickly. We got the win. Be home in half an hour.
Dude, I've never seen that before. No. I've never seen that before.
And I am a season ticket
like that. Never
season ticket holder for 3 years. That is the longest I have ever waited to get out of it.
What lot were you guys in?
So, as he said, the one I had to pay a half a mortgage for. So my lot that I normally go to was full. So this joint was a little bit further up, but on the opposite side of the street, right next to the Tim Hortons. So there's a lot right before the Tim Hortons. So I got in that lot. We squeezed into that lot, like literally squeezed in there.
Yeah.
The guy was like, all right, turn it around. All right, good. Like, it was like this.
Yeah, my car wouldn't have fit.
Like, we was like in there. Dang. And I'm like, all right, we in there. We good. Dude, when we got out, no.
Yeah,
no. Hindsight, we should have stayed to the whole game, waited so everybody cleared out, and just mosey on down there and just came out.
But it wasn't, I don't know about you, but I wasn't cold.
No.
Yeah. I wasn't cold at all. And the snow didn't bother me. I mean, I got hit in the back with a couple errant snowballs, but, you know, whatever. It was big. I just said, Mel, hood up. I knew it was time. When they scored, hood up. But, yeah, it was an adventure.
The league says, well, first of all, league believes the Bills are winning the Super Bowl now after this game. He said Bills are winning the Super Bowl this year. Then he goes on to say Josh Allen in the dome the next 2 weeks. That's your MVP, folks. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Not sure how
he's saying he's gonna excel in the dome, so he'll be MVP.
Oh, I thought he already had it locked up after this game. I mean, unless Saquon Barkley breaks the record, it's Josh's to lose.
Before this game.
So I think the last time I saw it, the people who were in the runnings were Lamar, Josh, Saquon, and I want to say Goff was still in the
and they had Josh last in line in that list because they showed it earlier in the day, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so on that list, Josh was last. He was fifth on that list. But that, of course, that was before he played this game and became the only quarterback. Huh?
What list are you talking about? I've always seen him first. What list were you looking at?
Oh, you saw him first?
Yeah. He was betting on his favorite.
On TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They showed a graphic of everybody who was in the running, and Saquon Barkley was number one, and then I think it was Lamar Jackson and I think Travis Henry might have been in there too,
No.
and then Jared Goff
No.
in it. No?
No.
What?
You mean Derrick Henry?
I'm sorry, Derrick. Why do I keep saying that? It's because I just completely forget that Derrick Henry is in the league from time to time.
What do you mean no? No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
but yeah, no, I keep it like that because I saw Josh Allen as a betting odds favorite to win the MVP for the last 2 weeks.
So that means you got money on it.
I hope so.
I don't.
No?
But they keep talking about it, people that do talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was when they put the graphic up, they were like, all of this is before, Josh is playing the game. He went on bye week and then everybody else kind of, shifted up ahead of Josh, but, he's coming off a bye week. So, I mean, all of that was to be expected. Josh was going to take that back over. FCQ has a question. He says, no one else worries about Bass. Granted, it was snowing, but he's missing 40-yard kicks that he should be making. We can't handle another missed kick to end our season. He's been missing left and right.
Not yesterday.
So for me, here's the thing with the kickers, and they was talking about they was flaming Tucker yesterday.
Yeah, you were going in. We had a lot of time to reflect last night.
Here's the thing with the kickers. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit worried about it, but here's the thing. Like, I'm a guy of results. The issue is there's no better replacement at this point.
Right.
So that's what kind of
you can
sucks. So it's like you either roll with Bass or you roll with some other dude on a practice squad or somebody who's just trying to make it in. So my question is this. In the playoffs, are you willing to bet on the new kid who you have no history with or Bass?
Right.
I would rather go with Bass.
Right.
But I don't know. A lot of kickers just been missing. Like Justin Tucker, the best kicker probably other than Vinatieri. Like he's been money his whole career.
Right.
But now he's just having a bad year.
It happens. And yesterday was reinforced. I mean, if nothing else, I learned from that game. The field conditions, it was an ice sheet. Nobody had footing. Everybody slipping and sliding. That's why Moody missed that kick.
I'll say that
he slid.
Moody missed too.
Yeah, he slid. I mean, I'm not taking anything from yesterday's game because that was not a kicking game at all.
Silas says anyone complaining about missed kicks clearly wasn't there. I mean, you could see it. You could see because I was at home watching it. It was clear that guys weren't going to be making kicks. Here's the thing that was surprising for me because somebody on the TV cast was saying it looks windy, but down on the field it's not that windy.
No, it wasn't windy.
No, so like the snow was blowing, but it wasn't like you didn't get like a gust.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
circling.
Yeah, it wasn't no gust or nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's excuse me, it really it's just footing and how
Placement,
slippery it
the
was.
ball could have slid on the ground. Placement. I
Yeah.
mean, it's also a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, the problem is Bass has a history of missing him this year. That's what compounds this whole thing.
Right.
If it wasn't for that, we'd be like, whatever, snow. But we saw it. Firsthand. What about that defensive tackle that tried to get out of his stance and like fell on his face and Edwards was like.
right. Just put his hands
I
on
don't
his
even.
shoulders. Make sure
I didn't expect that to happen. So I'm gonna just
Yeah.
stay down.
Yeah. So Lindsay says thoughts about Milano's first game back after nearly 2 years out of action.
For this game, I think it was a perfect game. He looked it good, but it wasn't a true test because I think 49ers were hampered by the snow.
Agreed.
So, like, it wasn't a full test, but it's perfect because your first game kind of eased him in. So he's easing him back to football speed, easing in the hitting, getting hit. So he's taking it, like, a little bit at a time. Like, had this would have been, like, a nice game with perfect weather, he might have had a rough time. If McCaffrey don't get hurt, he might have a rough time.
It was a perfect storm because I told you they were 14 for like 130 yards between McCaffrey and Jordan Mason in the early third into the first half.
Yeah.
And Milano was in on those. I thought this would have been a perfect game had they both been healthy for Dorian Williams to play because he's a run stuffer. Milano definitely, I think he said or somebody alluded to the fact that Milano was supposed to be playing first and second down, but there really weren't that many third downs yesterday, so he didn't play. Or he didn't come off the field like he was supposed to.
Yeah, he played all of every snap except for the 11 dime plays that Cam Lewis is in on, right? So let me ask you guys this: if there was no snow, because like in my mind, if there's snow, it's not really a big deal. Everybody, the pace of the game, the speed of the game, everything was significantly slower yesterday. Mm-hmm. And for a guy that's coming back off of a leg injury and then on top of that an arm injury, that's a pretty good game to play in. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's going slow. You don't have to worry about the speed of the game, affecting your body in a way where it's having to perform above where it's ready to perform. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And not saying the Bills would put him in before he was ready to play at NFL speed, but there's a big difference between a doctor telling you you're ready to play at NFL speed and you actually going in the game and playing at NFL speed, right? So what do you guys think about what happens to Milano next game? Because this was an easy game for him to come back in. Yeah. Would you give some thought to maybe not rushing him to play every snap inside a dome?
I would let him in and see how he does, like see how he's progressing, see how he's doing. But if the plan was for like first and second, like see what he looks like the first and second, and then put Dorian Williams and see. But if it starts to be like a liability where like, hey, we need you to, or he's missing tackles, or Dorian Williams is missing stuff in the coverage, like I think you just shift it to based on what you need at that point.
Right.
But I still think you should play him, but still kind of like ease him in. Like I don't want him playing like, hey, you're taking over like business as usual, because he needs to get that game speed and that experience back, because he's been gone almost 2 years, like out of playing the game. So I don't want to rush him back too soon, and I want him to be at a comfortable pace.
Okay.
I think you have to figure out what you want to take away. You want to take Kyron Williams away. You want Dorian Williams to play. But if you got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and whoever else out there chewing you up, like you said, Dorian Williams can be a liability. But I mean, we've seen he's been Badom-Ray. He's not good. Yep. But he's not abysmal.
Yep. Yeah.
Now, the Kyron Williams factor is what scares me, because we've seen what happened in the snow yesterday. We've seen all season where the Bills' run defense is, even with Dorian Williams. And is Milano going to be in there? I mean, you want to throw him in there. Maybe you'll spell him a little more. Throwing some packages for both of them. But no, I don't think you want to go lean heavy either way. You kind of want to split them up.
Okay. So, all right. Nobody's asking any questions right this second. I got a bone to pick with your boy, Hamlin.
Okay.
Marmar?
Yo, the McCaffrey run, bro.
Okay.
He jumped to the outside gap, which the way the defender ahead of him, I think it was Taron Johnson that was in front of him, the way Taron Johnson was positioned, Taron Johnson had the outside gap, right?
Hey,
for DeMar to jump outside and then get trapped behind Taron Johnson and then have to have a leaping falcon hook claw on the ankles of McCaffrey from Taylor Rapp.
Hey, man, players mess up too. Players mess up.
No, this was the knock that I had on Hamlin last year, was him taking bad angles on run plays.
He did this year too. Players mess up.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow. It's so easy. It's so easy for Key. It's so easy. Yeah, players mess up. Okay.
Hey, I mean, Bernard missed tackles, Rousseau missed tackles. They all missed tackles. We want to go Hamlin. We can go Hamlin, but players mess up.
All right. Okay, bro. No problem. No problem. You got it. All right. So what do we want to get to next?
Speaking of, since you want to poo-poo on my people, can we get one of my people some bright lights?
No. Vu said, do y'all see this team winning it all?
No, we gonna hold on, Boo. Hold on a second. Go ahead. Asking questions. When I'm about to get somebody some shine.
Who are you about to? Oh God! Listen, somebody else say something right now, please, that I can ask.
Say it.
I need a question,
say
please. McCaffrey was on the tear until getting hurt in that game. That's who else? I got a bunch of comments coming in here. This is ridiculous.
Okay, I bet you
Silas
don't.
says, be easy on the leading vote getter at free safety. It's not a vote. He was chosen to be there. He was chosen from the start because everybody else ahead of him was hurt. Taylor Rapp had his position, and Hamlin happened to be the only guy that was there that knew the defense. And wasn't injured.
That's what they tell you, because they can't figure out why Mike Edwards never got to start. It's because he was poo-poo.
Mike Edwards was hurt
because he was poo-poo.
He wasn't hurt because he was poo-poo.
We saw Mike Edwards on the field warming up. We saw Mike Edwards not play in the preseason. We saw Mike Edwards blacklisted.
Right.
Immediately.
How easy does that make them?
Why was he blacklisted?
Hamlin to step in?
Because Marmar didn't mess up. Marmar wasn't great, but Marmar did not mess up.
He messed up last night.
Ooh, week 13? Wow, we wait a long time for that one.
The first time he's messed up this season. I'm certain I can go back and find some stuff.
He had that pick was nice that it got called back, though.
And that was on Rasul Douglas. They
That
called
was
on
nice.
him.
I don't know about
though.
nice.
See, he
How
hater.
is it nice?
So listen, all right,
Oh my God, define nice.
So,
I'm
all
about
right.
to go off right now.
So safety.
Yep.
You're playing safety. What are you supposed to do when the ball is thrown?
Go get the ball.
That's what he did. He jumped it. He had his eyes on the quarterback. He was in the perfect spot, and he caught it.
Yep.
Most defensive backs
Anybody at home right now.
drops that ball.
That's not a hater. Please comment.
No. Anybody at home. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead.
Anybody at home right now, please go look at the tape. The defender right behind the person who the ball was thrown to behind DeMar Hamlin was just standing there like this.
Nah. So
He was just standing there like this.
I got somebody on my text thread. They said, they were welcome to the party, by the way. You know who you are. Players do F up sometimes. Yeah.
Who said that?
My text thread.
Yo, text thread.
Yeah. Because they can't figure out how to get the comments flowing yet. But
All
it's
right,
okay.
That's fine. Listen, I get that players mess up. I get that.
Except DeMar Hamlin.
No. What I'm kind of getting fed up with is the DeMar Hamlin love. The 2 interceptions that he's had this season were thrown basically right to him. Mm-hmm. He just happened to be in.
That's what we said about Jairus Byrd. He just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
No.
Right or wrong?
Jairus Byrd, bro, we've seen Jairus Byrd come from one side of the field all the way over to the other to pick off an interception.
After it was
I've
tipped.
never seen DeMar Hamlin do that.
Tipped. He happens to be in the right place at the right time.
No. Jared, bro, you cannot tell me Jairus Byrd was not a ball hawk.
He was in the right. What does a ball hawk mean?
A ball
the right
hawk,
place at the right time.
No, that's not what a ball hawk means.
Yes, it does. It means I get to where the ball is going before it gets there.
Okay,
the right place at the right time.
We about to see if Madam Webster has a definition for ball hawk.
I doubt she does. Is it a Madam or is it Lord?
Hawk definition.
Why do you want Webster?
Because
that's culturally biased.
A skilled ball player, in particular, a football or basketball player, adept at stealing or intercepting the ball, or an outfielder in baseball skilled at catching fly balls.
Yep. They're in the right place at the right time. Fly ball.
It don't say nothing about right place, right time. It don't say that.
Russell Westbrook, right place, right time.
What is another one? Meaning of ball hawk. A team athlete who's skilled at stealing or catching the ball.
That's what you just said.
What is the definition of stealing?
Being in the right place at the right time.
No, it is not. No, it is not. If I'm stealing something, that means you put it in a place where I'm not supposed to get it.
Can I steal your hat right now?
Get it anyway.
Can I steal your hat right now?
Huh?
Can I steal your hat right now?
Yes.
How? Right now. Spatially, right now, I can get your hat? No.
What?
So I can't be in the right place, right? Your hat got to be where my hand is in order for me to take it.
No.
So on the Jairus Byrd point, I will say this. He plays differently than our safeties play, meaning our safeties will stick to the guy first, look for the ball second.
Mm-hmm.
Byrd went for the ball first, player second. Yeah. However, the Key's point, though, as a safety, it is your job to be where the ball is. So if the ball is tipped, you have to athletically get to the ball. So, yes, I do see your point. Sometimes it just happens to be the ball goes where you're at, but at the same time, you have to have that same cognizance to know, ball out, I need to be there.
Wait, this is funny. No, you're
right. You have to do that though. I could understand if it was balls up. I'm going to put myself in position to get the ball. Yeah. He was already there. Yeah. The ball came right to him both times.
But last night though,
I'll give you a prime example.
Last night though, he was. If that would have sticked, that would have been a solid one.
Bro, he swam moved the receiver to get to the ball.
Wait.
Like, how simple is that?
You smell that? I smell hater.
Ain't nobody hating. Ain't nothing.
Let me see. Let me see what the poll says.
What is poll? You put a poll out?
Aramis hating don't look good on you, brother. Silas, if Jairus Byrd was a ball hawk, can we call Mara ball sparrow? Yeah, we can do that.
No. Oh my God, no.
And Roy Collins, you're like this though. You're like this for real. Roy Collins said, I can't believe Key has all this love for Hamlin, but son's Kyle Williams.
Yeah, right.
Everybody loves Kyle. Somebody got to love Mara.
No, nobody has to love him.
Nobody has to love
him. His mama loves him enough.
His daddy love him too.
The city Brady can love him for what happened to him in the Bengals game. He don't need no more than that.
No, I love him for being number 3. He be like this, and he do this here. This.
Bro.
Threes up.
I'm going to give you a prime example. The perfect game for the Buffalo Bills against the Patriots in the playoffs. Micah Hyde going to pick that ball off when he was nowhere near the play.
Yeah.
He was nowhere near the play.
Yeah.
But he ran himself over there to enter himself into the play to make a play. That's a ball hawk. That's a guy that didn't have no business being in that area, but saw ball and went to go get ball. I have not seen DeMar Hamlin do anything to that extent whatsoever since he's been here. I can't call him a ball hawk. I can't give him credit. Oh, he's getting all these interceptions. Listen.
Well, it's only 2. It's not all. It's only 2.
By that definition of DeMar Hamlin's interceptions, a catcher in baseball intercepts the pitch every time.
Nah, it doesn't make sense.
No, why? The catcher's in the right place at the right time?
But you're throwing it to him.
So are the quarterbacks. That's my point.
No, they're not.
Bro, stop.
Quarterbacks do not throw to a safety.
Hold on. What do a lot of people in the NFL say for defensive backs versus wide receivers?
When they're both the same, but one can't catch.
Exactly. So the fact that I've seen Sauce Gardner, same thing. He in the right place at the right time, but he can't catch the ball to save his life.
We talking
Think about it. But hold on, A. He is a elite cornerback, is he not?
He is an elite defender of the pass,
but he cannot catch balls.
You don't have to be able to catch the ball as a corner. That's why you play defense.
I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if I'm in the NFL and you my defensive coordinator, and I'm playing defense, and you like, Matt, go ahead, I smacked it down. Why didn't you catch it? You know, I'm cornerback. I don't.
Right.
I don't do these things.
That's why these guys become corners, because they can't play wide receiver. They can't catch.
Well, if as a DC, I kind of want the turnover, dog.
I kind of want that turnover,
okay,
dog.
I get it, but there's a big difference. So how hard is it for you to catch when it's coming right to the breadbasket? Like how hard is that? I could understand. Like a lot of what Sauce Gardner is trying to catch is hand catches in tight coverage, in competition for the ball. That's completely different from you being in an area where the receiver is and the ball coming right in a rainbow, right into the breadbasket.
Well, I'm going to tell you right here.
Go look at both catches that DeMar Hamlin has had. It's right in the breadbasket.
I'm going to tell you right here. The tiebreakers, F_CQ77. DeMar has more interceptions than Sauce Gardner. Next conversation. All right. Next conversation.
Okay, so now what are we saying? We're saying DeMar Hamlin is more of a ball hawk than Sauce Gardner?
No, I'm saying I like seeing the steam come out the top of your hat right about now.
You know what?
This is excellent. You're probably sweating in there to your
personal.
personation.
There's no sweat up under
Ain't
this
this
hat.
DeMar's first full season as a starter?
Yes.
Second.
He started last year?
He started.
He didn't start the full season last year.
He was the year before. He was a starter when high, so he had 13 starts, something like that, before he got what happened.
Okay, but this is full
so from day one.
This is his first full starting season.
I'm saying his first full starting season. And Sauce
It's
in the
a hit.
league.
He's the second leading tackler.
We are not putting this in the vacuum of DeMar Hamlin versus Sauce Gardner.
No.
Sauce Gardner's not even the best corner in the league right now. He's
DeMar
not.
Hamlin's he's in the running for best safety.
Patrick Surtain is the best corner in the league right now.
Do DeMar got more than him?
Then who?
Hold on.
No, he better not.
If he does, that's only because people ain't throwing at Patrick
here we
Surtain.
go with this.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm just saying I haven't seen him drop one yet. I've seen a lot of defenders drop balls.
Because they're all so easy. He's got 3. So he's got more than DeMar Hamlin.
Hey, had it not been for Rasul Douglas,
Stop!
he was gonna go get that ball.
Had it not been for stop!
He was gonna go get that ball. But yeah, no. But no, I did want to bring up in the good note because you got your saying in. But did you know? And I think you do probably. But James Cook, you said everybody was slow.
Yes,
that
sir.
man had his speed threshold all the way on 0. Because he went for the 7th fastest ball carrier for the year in the league, 7th fastest in the snow last night. Dang. And also, James Cook's that run was the 8th highest, most remarkable run, which means that he was supposed to get 3 yards on that run. But he got 65, so 62 yards above. The number 1 was Travis Henry against us. The 87-yard was number 1.
Yo, so funny about that. When we was at the game, I was like, man, this is a game where I would love to have Fred Jackson or LaShawn McCoy because they used to kill it.
You did say that.
Killing in the snow.
You sure said that.
And then he was like, We good. We got HIMBO. We got Ray. We good. Like the next drive later. Look, there we go. I'm like, yo. I'm like, let's go.
Wow.
I look to the crib.
Yeah. No, I mean it's easy to do that when defenders can't, get in position.
All right, here we go. Why you got diminished?
I'm just
So
saying.
explain it
it's
21 miles per hour.
Easy to do that when you got defenders
What would he have done
that
on
can't
sand?
get in
What would he have
position
done on
to make the
grass?
tackle.
21 miles.
I am not trying to hate on anybody, but there are caveats to every single situation in life. Everyone. What? What'd you say? All right, Peanut Gallery. Trying to get your hits in on the slide. Listen, did y'all hear Josh after the game in the presser with Amari?
Yep.
We had to. We were in the car.
We heard the whole thing. Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all had nowhere to go.
We heard all of it.
Did y'all hear Amari catch Josh?
Catch Josh? No. What did he say?
You didn't hear? Oh, Junie would have been proud.
He hit him with it. Oh, he hit him with it.
Amari hit Josh with the whoa.
Oh snap! Now I hear it.
With the whoa.
Oh.
Josh was talking about that run from James Cook, and he was like, he hit the hole hard, and Amari was like, whoa.
Yo, let me find out.
It was hilarious because Josh just kind of stopped mid sentence and looked at Amari and was like,
You're right.
all right, somebody ask him a question now. Since you got jokes, you go talk now.
Yeah, I heard him say. I heard all that, but I didn't correlate the what with.
Yeah, that's what it was for.
Funny as ever.
Yeah, that was real funny.
Even on a better note. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
On a better note, you hear what Claire Kittle said about the game yesterday.
No.
Claire Kittle,
George's wife. She said, in 8 years, George has never played in Buffalo. There are a few stadiums that have left the experience, and I'm happy to report this one did not disappoint. It felt very Midwest, and I loved it. So, yeah, she said her and George enjoyed their experience, even though he might have got hit with a snowball or three. But, I mean, it's all fun. Even when you're losing, stuff like that, it builds character.
Yeah.
Don't go ham with it. I don't want you guys, because it got out of hand after a while. But,
Is it just the perception thing for people when a team is winning versus when they're losing? Because I didn't hear none of this stuff when the Bills were losing. Like, I heard the Bills fans love their team and they were but nobody really talked about the atmosphere in such a positive way as what we've been hearing this season. You know what I'm saying?
Because back in those days, most people, they would leave, like, after halftime.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And then the games, it wasn't exciting. Like, you didn't have Josh Allen making these crazy plays or James Cook running set. Like, you didn't have that. Like, you had Dink and Dunk from Fitz. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, when J.P. Lawson was there and Lee Evans, you get those long bombs occasionally. Yeah. But those always wind up turning into losses. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't – it's that the atmosphere is different because, again, like, we are a legit, respectable team in the NFL. Everybody knows it.
Yeah. Okay. So let me pose this question to y'all. We're about 40 minutes in now. The title of this episode is why this Bills win is scary for the NFL. I want to set this up for y'all, and then I want to hear y'all thoughts. So, one of the things about this game that I think I appreciated the most is this was the first game that I watched the Bills play in where we had inclement weather, and the Bills were not the victim of the inclement weather. This was the first Bills team that I've seen where we had a quarterback that could play in this weather. We had a running back that could play in this weather. We had an offensive line that can play in this weather. We had a defense that can play in this weather. And everybody seemed to look dominant despite what was happening around them and what was happening underneath them. And when I look at that and I think about what's coming in the playoffs, I think that's a very scary proposition for other teams watching what they watched last night, because if you cannot access any advantages at all, especially in inclement weather in Buffalo, if it used to be an advantage for another team. Think about the game against the Colts. The Colts had a major advantage in running the ball that game where LaShawn, like, it went into overtime and Shady scored the touchdown to win it. But that was a brawl because nobody could throw it in that game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And last night looked easy. It looked easy. Yeah. And if I'm another team and I'm watching that and I'm saying to myself, damn, if I got to go to that place, I know we tough. I know we could play in the snow, but I don't know if we could play like that in the snow. How scary is that, do you think, for other teams looking at what they saw last night?
Listen, so I think all that happened when I'm going to give credit to Josh being there because I was at the perfect game. The perfect game was a snow game also. Like, it was cold. It was snowing. Josh went beast mode in that game. So, like, think about it, too. That's why I think that 1 seed is super important. Like, and yes and no, because no matter what, if we get the 2nd seed, we're hosting all the games anyway until we play number 1. But the playoffs, you got to come to Buffalo, bro. You got to come here and play in that weather and that cold. Especially like San Francisco, they came from the other side of the country, way on the West Coast. Like that's a long haul.
Yeah,
come over here, and you got to play in that.
Right.
So that's why people gonna flame me for this. That's why I was one of the guys saying, "Don't get a dome, don't get a dome. I want that advantage." Now with the team that we got now, Josh Allen, the running backs that we got, the wide receivers that we got, would you not want to play the playoffs here with the snow?
Right.
Beat us now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point. I got some really quick. I think that my mentality early on was I wanted a dome because I was still thinking about the day ball offense. I was still thinking about what we see the Lions do in their dome you know what I'm saying? So I wanted that track meet. I wanted the greatest show on turf, essentially. You know what I mean? But the other side of that was we didn't have a team that looked good in the snow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now we freaking do. So, Key, what do you think?
No, I mean, there's merit to it, but I think it's all how you build the team. You know, if you build the team knowing where you live, Josh Allen, obviously, they drafted him finally a quarterback that can throw in the snow. You know, outside of that, you still go get your Southern boys, you know, James Cooks, like that. You know, did you see what Mac Hollins did? Did you see it?
Yeah.
The cryogenic thing? No, the cryogenic thing. He got in a cryogenic the room, whatever that was, that Keon Coleman was in when he first came in, with gloves, like gloves for his feet, not socks. I know technically you would think socks, but they're like these. They look like it was on his hands for his feet, basically. And he had a shiesty on.
How do you say that? What do you call those? Flubs?
Flubs, yeah.
I had some of those.
Well, you have foot gloves?
Yep.
Well,
what are they for?
This is the thing, though. He got in the cryogenic chamber at minus 170 degrees with nothing on but the gloves, the shiesty, and his foot coverings. And he was in there in his underwear in there talking about you got to get through it. This is how I play in the cold. This is how I do it. Yeah. This is how I do it. Yeah. Just breathe. Just get through it. And he kept doing that. And like, you know, it's his mentality thing.
Before the game?
I don't know. It might have been before the game.
I think he was leading it up to because he knew it was going to be cold. So he was leading up to it. Like he's basically getting his awareness and his resistance ready because he already knows coming.
Lowering his body temperature.
That's the thing. Preparation. When you have a team in this climate. And it's really – last night was nothing I have not seen before. Last night was one of the most tame snow games I've ever seen. I've been to 3 of them now.
That LaShawn McCoy game was way worse.
Really?
Way worse. Bro, you couldn't even see – like there was snow blowing.
It was futile at that point.
The lines. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't even do it because it was snowing so much. There was so much snow. Like, bro, forget it. Like that game – I remember that game. That game was crazy.
I was at that Colts game. The one that Peyton Manning, they actually had Zambonis, the trucks on the field at timeouts doing circles, and it didn't matter.
I say it didn't look like
it didn't matter.
Got done.
Yeah, I mean, and so yesterday was by far like if anybody says that was a crazy,
you know what? Yeah,
it really wasn't.
Now that you say that, and that was a very light snow game.
Yeah, because it was like the small beads of snow. It wasn't the flaky stuff that just layers on. And
somebody said it like they likened it to Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, that's the reporter lady was saying it's like
when they got hit in the face with Snowball. I'm like,
she wasn't wrong because I was thinking like watching her talk. I'm like, oh, the little balls of snow. It's like Dippin' Dots. All right, I get it. But and y'all were at the game, so y'all couldn't see this. But for anybody else who's watching us right now, put in the comments if you noticed, like during the game, the TV broadcast has a way now to show the numbers and the lines of the field over the snow. Yep. But they do it in like a darker overlay so that it's noticeable in all the white of the snow, so that you kind of get the sense like the field looks clear, but it's really not. So, but you can still kind of see like where the ball is positioned on the field and how close they are to a first down and stuff like that. It really does make it makes it easier to kind of understand where they are on the field because everything's covered with snow. You can't see the Bills logo. You can't see none of that stuff.
Right.
All you see is a bunch of lines. You're not sure how close that is to the end zone or whatever. But, yeah, that overlay was really nice up until it started getting a little bit thicker, and then I think at that point they were just like, forget it.
No,
yeah.
Taylor Rapp said it best yesterday. You heard him when he said we went in, we put on longer cleats. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got longer cleats. So, I mean, it's nice that we finally can do this stuff, but where was that in the Bengals game when we were at home slipping all over our own field? It's an awareness that they didn't have previously to now.
True.
So I think all that couples into a team that is going to be a formidable opponent for anybody coming into Ralph Wilson at any point, really.
Yeah. The other thing too is like what the guy said for the comments. I was telling Key, not only are we winning, bro, everybody is having fun.
Mm-hmm.
They having fun and they winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like this is not like they're like, oh my God, freaking out and they panicking and like, oh my God, we just got through it. Oh my God, like they're not winning like the Chiefs. Like, oh my God, I can't believe we won that.
Yeah.
They're winning easily and having fun while doing it. So it brings like what Keyshawn said, like this team, yes, we don't have a lot of elite players or stars that people want to say, but this team is playing together as a team.
Right.
Like they're concisely like playing like offense, defense. They're together. They got each other back. They balling like. We looking real good right now, man.
You know, Burns, about what you said, and it's not because you said it or because you say anything about it, but it's the notion. I've said this a couple of times, but I was listening to the morning shows when I think it was Sneaky Joe said, you know, what is the definition of a superstar? It's somebody that's been good for a very long time. Now, when you say a long time, what does that mean? Aging. So if the Bills and Bills fans are chasing these superstars, you're trying to get aging players. When you be cultivating your own superstars, you telling me right now people don't want Christian Benford in this league? I don't care about fans. You tell me that the front office and people don't want Christian Benford. People don't want Terrell Bernard. People don't want Greg Rousseau. I know. But people don't want, like the thing is we have Khalil Shakir in the right system.
Yeah.
What could he do? James Cook in the right, what could he do?
Yeah.
So it's up to our front office not to be lazy and go buy somebody else's. Cultivate your own. We're not going to do DeMar Hamlin. Okay, we're not. He's not going to be a superstar. We know that. He's a depth player.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you have guys on the team you identify as people that should be the next step, the next level.
Yeah.
But instead, people say, oh, I want this person, I want that person, I want that. They don't work that way in a sustainable manner in the way Brandon Beane envisioned it. What he says versus what he does is two different things.
I personally think that all those guys you named, Key, those are rising stars.
That's my point.
They're all rising stars. Like, you can't say none of those dudes are like, they all right.
We have them.
Like, those are, like, I can see in the next 4 or 5 years they are being elite level players.
Like, that dude's a Pro Bowl. That dude's all pro.
Cook, he's going to be a Pro Bowl elite running back. I can already tell. He's doing it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Khalil Shakir.
Yep.
He don't drop balls. He don't miss.
No.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see these young players coming into being elite players.
I mean, Dawson Knox. They would want a Dawson Knox. They would want, even Kincaid. Teams like, they're not using him right. He's a star. It's up to us to figure out how to use them.
Let's not bring up MVS because he got another touchdown.
Would you stop it?
The only thing I think gets in the way of that, and I really hope that they find a way around this, and to some degree, I think this season has provided a small window of opportunity for the team to really make that change. What I mean is this. Sean McDermott doesn't trust guys who haven't mastered the system. He's not going to put you on the field unless you have shown in practice and in class, in the film room, whatever, that you have everything down without having to think about it. Without your first reaction is the right answer every time, and if that's the case, very few rookies are going to get a shot, which means the draft really isn't going to matter until year 2 for a lot of these guys unless they're forced into action by injury or just the team can't afford to put a viable option at that position. But I think this year has shown they can give their rookies, all of them, spot duty to some degree. Van Pran is on special teams. He's getting burned, right? Solomon's coming in. He got a sack this season. Dwayne Carter's come in and shown he can be a great run defender. So if you can get these guys into the games in spot duty to show what they can do, especially in quasi pressure situations, third downs are always pressure situations and stuff like that. If you could find those moments for these players to get their confidence up and to get Sean's confidence in them up, I think that begins to change the trajectory for some of these rookies because before this year, it was really if you're a rookie and Sean didn't specifically choose you, like if he didn't throw a Pokeball at you and say, I choose you, you weren't going to come on the field at any point your first year. That you were just done, right? So I want to get to a few comments here real quick. FH, welcome to the show. He says, I want to see the Bills take the AFC in Buffalo against KC. Is there any doubt in you guys' mind that the Bills are going to get the number 1 seed now after everything that we've seen with the Chiefs struggling with the Panthers and then again with the Raiders? They now have, they have Chargers, they have Broncos, they have Steelers still left on the schedule. They also have to play the Browns, who has they've shown that they can bite you in the behind whenever they can. No.
Eat that W. Eat the W. Get the T.
You should have just said Cleveland or just made a reference.
Get the T.
I did. I said the Browns. I purposely worded it in a way where it talked about the group and not an individual.
Led by.
They gonna find a way, bro. They gonna find a way. I respect it.
Gotta have it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving right along.
Go ahead.
Moving right along, the Chiefs have those 4 teams still left on their schedule to contend with. I mean, somewhere in there they got to lose one, right? That's all it takes.
Like to me, I could be wrong, but this cannot continue to happen, dude.
Right.
It can't, bro. They can't keep winning by the hairs on their chin every week. Like, come on, bro. Like, eventually one of these teams gonna have to get them because if not, here's the other caveat, A. I can see them getting bumped out in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I can see that too.
You got a hungry team who can play, who can close teams out, who can blow out teams, and they playing the Chiefs. They not scared of you, first of all.
Yep.
So, like, everything has to go your way for you to win that game. So I can see them getting knocked out the first round.
Yeah.
I really can see it.
Is there doubt? I mean, there's reasonable doubt. Only because of the Chiefs and they have we have to pretty much win out and they have to lose another game.
Right.
I mean, this
the
is
NFL
the
script is going to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, no shade on the Bills at all, but there is little doubt.
And Hollywood might be available at the end of the season, baby.
Yeah, he's on one. That's right.
But I think like you said, playoffs. That's not to knock your point, but to me that's like obvious because every week they could get bounced off to me. It's like every week could be the week they lose, but they never do. It's like, oh, this is the one right here, the Broncos one. Oh, they got them blocked, or this one, the Kansas City or the Baltimore game week 1, toenail. Come on now, how far up is it,
bro? The clips they keep showing of Mahomes running on the field after they blocked the Broncos field goal. I just throw up in my mouth a little bit every time. Like, for you to be that excited over barely beating a team that is, I think at that point, they
were barely 500.
Yeah, they were barely 500. They were knocking on the door of the playoffs, but only because the rest of the AFC is trash right now. I mean, listen, realistically, there are only 4 good teams in the league right now. 4. You have to say the Chiefs because of their record.
Yep.
You have to say the Buffalo Bills because we've just flat out proved it.
Yep.
You have to say the Lions, and you have to say the Eagles. After that, you don't really have to say anybody else. The Ravens just lost.
Yeah. Wichita had a great performance last week or this week, but I would add the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah.
I would add the Steelers, but
I didn't expect them to go toe-to-toe with Cincy.
The whole season, like I said, there's no doubt their defense has always been there.
Yeah.
But their offense is starting to pick up.
Yep.
Because in the first couple of weeks, they was beating people with just field goals, not even scoring touchdowns.
Is that a Russ factor?
I think Russ is getting hot, man. He had 400 yards.
That might be Cincy though.
Or
because the only other time that Russ did well was against the Ravens, I think it was.
It might be that division because Tomlin knows that division.
Yeah, but I mean, I just mean that I said that because the Ravens' pass defense is not great at all this season. You know what I mean? They're bottom of the league in pass defense, and then Cincy's defense is not great at all in pass defense. So when you play those teams and you put up numbers on those guys, I mean, the rest of the season for Russ has not looked that good. It could possibly be that Russ is getting, in sync with the receivers. He didn't start the season.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
They could be, coming into their own. But, I mean, I don't know. I would still have to see Russ play in the playoffs with that team. They I don't know. I don't know if I trust their offensive line. I don't know if I trust that offense in general in a pressure situation against a good team. I haven't seen that yet. A few other comments here I wanted to get to. Carl says, if all you have to complain about is DeMar making an occasional mistake or Tyler missing an occasional field goal, then the rest of the league is in trouble. You know what?
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, I was coming away from this game saying, what more is there to improve on? You still got guys that are injured, so that means this team is going to get better.
Yeah, and you got starters here that you can bring back as backups. I mean, DeMar, I'm talking to DeMar. You're a football player, but, can we do better? Like Levi, when you're searching for the perfect piece,
Yep.
he can be that placeholder if need be. Who's to say he doesn't take another step next year? Not saying he's going to be a pro. I'm not.
Right.
God, that's not what I'm getting at.
Right.
When I say DeMar, I'm not saying he's a star player, he's an all-pro. I'm just saying that you could do a lot worse, and he's a piece. He could be a placeholder when you're trying to find that piece you need for your defense.
Yep.
Yeah. He's Levi Wallace.
Yeah. So, and I think for this defense, when you ask what's the weakest point, who knows? Because Milano coming back, if he's back, if nothing else happens, praise God, I'd be happy as heck about it. Right. But you got, we haven't seen Ulufacio yet. We haven't seen, Dwayne Williams a whole year yet. We've seen what we could do, but with the depth that we have, I feel really good about it.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing that to me would be a weakness, they've been playing decent, but not, and I think it's just me because they haven't been doing what I want them to do. Is the defensive line. I want that pass rush to be lethal.
Yes.
That's what I want. Like, I want that. It's not terrible, but it's not the way I see other playoff teams winning. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the good playoff teams that make it to the bowl, they have an elite pass rush.
Yep.
And
Eagles got it.
And I don't think, like I said, our pass rush is decent, but it's not elite. And I think that's where the difference is going to show in the playoffs.
I think you're onto something there because you look at the other units to our defense, they could play different ways.
Yep.
Everybody else, but the D-line, they're maxed out. This is
Yep.
what they are. Russo is not I'm sorry. He's got 6.5 sacks. He might get 10, but he's still not an elite pass rusher.
Right.
He's not. Von Miller is 35 years old. He made the pressure that got Russo the sack. He pushed him over there. You talk about your middle of the pack with Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, and whoever else you want to mention. I think Quentin Jefferson got in a lot. I knew him by the tennis ball green cleats he had on. And Jordan Phillips, he played a couple.
Phillips loved being in Buffalo, bro.
He really does.
Really?
Bro,
He
I
really
saw him
does.
at the game.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
He loved playing here.
Yeah, he just needs a reason to come back every time.
He just needs to take less money every year. If he can learn to do that, he'll stay here.
He's like, I can't take no less. I'm already league minimum.
But hey, listen, just stay on that then, bro.
But yeah, no, I think you're onto something. And that's the point of contention for me. That D line. If we can get Carter back and he can be as advertised as a run stuffer, I shouldn't say run stuffer because he's not a run stuffer, a run defender. I'll say.
He's a good one.
Then you're onto something because Ed Oliver with Carter. You could do some things with that.
Yeah.
You could go ahead and get Elianku. Elianku could actually be a 53-man member next year, believe it or not.
He looked decent this season.
He's
when he
been
played.
really adequate this year. I use the word good
Really adequate.
softly, but
He's been really
I'm
average.
tiptoeing. He's been good. But, I still want to improve. I still want to use a draft pick or getting one of those rising stars that you would identify on another team. That's not a Von Miller pre-made, pre-packaged, let's go. Somebody you got to work with. Somebody, I got the traits, you got the bend, you got the idea, but you're missing this component I can help you with. Come on over.
Yeah. David, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show. He says, should have played a 4-3 with Dorian, Bernard, and Milano. Taron Johnson was brutal on Sunday. David is not the first person that said this. He goes on to say, if CMC doesn't get hurt and San Fran don't give up on the run, it would have been a different game.
You said this was David?
David Maley. Yep.
May I call you Dave? Anyway, I didn't understand a lot of Taron Johnson over the last couple weeks. He had interceptions, but the rest of the game was a little shaky.
Yeah.
So I think you're on to something, David, for real.
Yeah, it seems like people are starting to follow the Chiefs in terms of how they attack the Bills in the run game, going right at Terrence Johnson. And the Chiefs are not the first one to do it. We've seen the Tennessee Titans do that. It's a very big weakness. What makes that tough is, you know what? With the way the rules are now, I don't even know if it makes it tough to substitute. Like, you can now have the game paused by the ref if you sub out a tight end or an extra lineman for a receiver because you want to try to catch the Bills off guard in base.
You have to be allowed to. Yeah, you have to
right.
Be allowed to
the
sub.
Bills will be allowed to sub out. So I don't know. What do you think, Mag? Is some of this hubris? Is there what other reason could there possibly be to not put a better run defender on the field, especially in a game like this when they're running the ball and they just kept Terrence Johnson out there?
So for me, I think it's one of those things where, with people, individuals, you know what you're good at, you know what you're weak at, right? I think it's like they know it's a weakness, but it's not weak enough to where it's going to lose them a game. So they just say, okay, we know what you're going to do. Go ahead. Attack them. Mm-hmm. You might get some plays off, but you're not going to win the game. And I think that's their mentality. Yeah, you're going to get some chunk plays off, but it's not going to win you the game. And I think their thinking is this. If you're going to keep attacking it, like I said, to them it's like, okay, yeah, we can beat them by doing this. But when it don't work, what are you going to do? If we put somebody else in there, now you got to change your whole game plan. Well, now we got to do something different because they got Dorian Williams over there, or they got Javon Solomon, or they got somebody who can hit. So now we got to switch it up. But it's like both people are playing the same scheme, and it's like I'm gonna keep doing it until you stop me, or I'm gonna keep doing it until you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think both sides, they're not breaking from it. What are you gonna do? Run it to Terrence Johnson. All right, it's fourth quarter. We could run to Terrence Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I think they know, but it's just not a liability to them to where they think that they have to change it.
Yeah, to be honest, we haven't seen in the playoffs the run game like that be a killer for the Bills. The team that's knocked us out the last 3 years have been the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, we played the Ravens and they just ran it down our throats, or, the Colts game was kind of close, but that, Josh was still – what? You catching me for that? I said that like 3 times last episode. You catching me for that now? The refs is killing me out here, bro.
Hey, yo, bro.
Jeez. All right. So all of that is to say, and Key, I want your thoughts on this. Schematically, I agree with Mac's point in terms of, the Bills are basically saying confidently, look, you can run it. You're not going to break a 75-yard run every time just because Terrence Johnson is out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In fact, it was talked about a little bit last night, the Bills scheme, and one of the things that one of the retorts that the announcer brought up was, the Bills are effectively saying, you can keep doing that, but once we adjust to it and put you in a bad situation because of it, then what are you going to do? They basically said the same thing. And right when they were saying that, they stopped Jordan Mason in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. It was 2nd and 14. Now what you going to do? You have to throw the ball at that point.
You know what I thought about this last night, and I'm like, this is why I can't fully – don't want to say hate. Why I can't fully just not like Rasul Douglas anymore.
Why?
Because every time – he gives up something in the pass game, he comes up in the run game.
Yeah.
He's starting to come up in the run game big. He it's like, I know I can't cover anymore.
Right.
So let me do this instead.
Right.
And the fact that Dorian Williams didn't play one defensive snap last night was crazy. He didn't play one defensive snap. Not one defensive snap.
Even when they took the starters out?
They didn't take the defensive starters out.
What?
They only took the offensive starters out. Defensive starters played. Didn't play one. So like David said, this would have been a perfect game to experiment, especially when it's 20. You got your defensive player. Take Tyrann out. Put Dorian in there. See what it looks like with him with the other two. Because you're going to play against – you might play against Derrick Henry again. Guess what? Terrence Johnson ain't going to be no good against him.
Right.
You need some beef. Yes.
Speaking of Derrick Henry.
Oh.
What? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what that's my point. That's
the
my
paradigm
point.
has shifted. Before it was if I said it, he was going to troll me now.
He was like,
Like
beef.
Right. Key said, "I need the beef," and you over there in your phone, just chilling. Come on.
I was
son.
like, I made it. I made it.
But yo, speaking of Derrick Henry, did y'all see who lit him up last week?
Who was it? Some little cat? It was a safety or somebody, wasn't it?
Cooper DeJean.
Who lit up who?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, bro.
Oh, did he?
1-on-1, he
Cooper
put him in the earth.
Cooper ain't no slouch.
Hey, he caught the ball. He was about to run. Cooper came in there. Boom! I was like, oh, Derrick, you not the king no more, brother.
Wow.
Bro, he's what, 198?
Mm-hmm. He's a hitter.
Flexed on King Henry
Bro,
like
he
that?
earthed him. He lifted him off the ground and drove him on the turf. I'm like, yo. And he got up like,
wow.
yo. I was telling Key.
What quarter was that in?
Yeah, I got to go back and see this.
I got to see it. I don't know. I just saw the highlight. I didn't see it live, but I saw the highlights because they were talking about it. But I was telling Key, everybody keeps saying, oh, Derrick Henry ran all over us. Those running backs, it's a magic number. 2,000 carries, every running back falls off.
Really?
Every running back falls off who get 2,000 carries. It's just too much wear and tear on your body. Granted, I know Derrick Henry is like the man takes care of his body. He eats right, all that. But at some point, it's going to fall off. And if you notice, Derrick Henry's always hot in the beginning of the season, the midseason. At the end of the season in the playoffs is where he fall off because he has nothing left. Like all that wear and tear you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to duplicate what he's doing earlier. Now he ain't gonna be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah, he's he's a thunder for Lamar Jackson's lightning. That's all it really is at this point. He's like
baby.
He's like Mike Allstott almost when he started like a fullback.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Derrick Henry is at this point. So
yeah. But the one thing you do have to do, and this is the tough part with Derrick Henry. He's the guy you want on the field all the time, just so that the defense has to respect that he's going to run the ball.
Yep.
And you never know.
But you can't. I mean, even Brandon Jacobs' career was very short in terms of his dominance in the NFL.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry has taken it, twice as long, but you still need another guy that you can sub him in with or sub him out for that is still a banger.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? You still need another guy that can come in and share the load with him, and I'm using all of these euphemisms, and I'm still not getting called out for them.
Nothing.
And and you know what I'm saying? So like for me, I don't think it's been a. What'd you say? I gave them. Why? Because Brady put his arms up like this? Because Peyton Manning put his arms up like this and pointed at the ref? Because Josh pointed at the ref? Now the flag got to get thrown? Unbelievable. This is what I get for talking stuff to the producer.
He getting older. He's getting wiser. The snap is coming. He been around us too long, man.
I never understood this either. And I'm trying to remember if I saw this in the Bills game or another game earlier in the day. But there was it might have been a 49ers player that got this call where he was holding and he took the player down to the ground.
Oh, it was on Tuhill.
I think so.
Yeah.
But by the time Tuhill got knocked down to the ground and the defender was laying on the ground with him, the defender was like trying to take his hands off like, I ain't do nothing.
Yeah, he literally tackled him.
Why do y'all do that? Like, why you put your hands up in there like I ain't do nothing? As soon as you do that, the ref is like, exactly what the producer did.
I don't know what you did, but you did it.
Here's the flag, bro. I'm just going to throw it right in front of you. Anytime, if I'm a ref, anytime I see the hands go up like this.
Yeah, that was weird because I saw it in live. I saw it like, why? Because he had him wrapped up by the ankles. 2 foot. Like, yeah. Every time.
They be acting like, I ain't do nothing.
Like
the ref is gonna be like, oh, his hands are up there. Okay.
It's not possible. It's not possible. He just slap up because it's not a foul. If you slap up, like, come on now, that sounds stupid. But yeah, no, I think. What were we even talking about football?
Well,
we were talking about Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
I think with what they built the team perfectly. It's just not working right now because the defense isn't working.
Yeah,
you got Henry, you got Lamar behind the line. You got Flowers over there. You got 2 tight ends that are electric. I mean, in a perfect world, you're like, where are they going this week? What is the plan of attack for this week? It could be any of these guys. Lamar could take off for any, whatever he wants to do. Derrick Henry can go for 150. This Trey Flowers over here can catch 2 touchdowns on me. You just don't know what's going to happen. But the defense is not holding up the part of the bargain. You lost to the Steelers, who didn't score a touchdown. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah. David Reed, welcome to the show. He says, if the Bills, we got 2 Davids now, so we have to start doing a David versus David.
No.
Where's Steve Lynn? I ain't seen Steve the whole show.
Not today.
Yeah, right. So David Reed says, if the Bills make it to the Super Bowl without having to go through KC, what will the narrative be?
That's what I was. Well,
it depends on who beats KC. So, for example, if they get taken out,
Wait. You pick a team and give the narrative, and then Key, you pick a team and give the narrative.
A team not other than KC, like another team that beat KC.
Yes. So I'll give you the Chargers, and you take the Ravens.
Okay. So if the Chargers beat KC, right? To me, I don't think it's a huge knock. People are going to say too much about the Bills because the Bills didn't get an opportunity to play to KC. They didn't make it to where we were at. It'd be different if, let's say, the team that beats KC somehow beats us, then that's a whole big different story. But if they get knocked out before we get a chance to play them, what can you really say about Buffalo? Like, oh, you didn't beat the Chiefs. They didn't beat whoever they like. It's not on us,
man. But you don't know how this works as the underdog. I'm a Nuggets fan. I've heard this before. I've heard they will spin everything. They will spin everything. They be like, the Bills won it, but it's an asterisk because they still didn't beat the Chiefs. That's what that's the narrative. They still didn't beat the Chiefs, even though they won it yet. But see, for me, that's why when we had that conversation, I said, you know what? If I got that trophy, the hell with you. I don't care who I beat. I got the trophy. Yeah. But if I fall short of the trophy and if we didn't beat the Chiefs in the meet, man, it's gonna be, you're gonna get mad. You're gonna get mad.
Now, like I said, if we don't win it, then But if we win it, I'm sure ain't no Bills fan gonna be like, we won the Super Bowl, but we ain't beat the Chiefs. Like, right? You know, like, bro, we got the ring.
You going to City Hall for the parade? Nah, bro, we didn't beat KC. We didn't. I can't go have fun with y'all and share in this win, the first Super Bowl that Buffalo's ever won, because we didn't beat KC on the way.
The city is closed.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm going to work. Why?
We didn't beat KC.
They didn't beat KC.
It's March. But see, but the thing is,
the Bills fan, cannot respect our own win because we didn't beat KC.
But the funny thing is, you take it there with Trubisky. When we said Trubisky had to win it.
Do we not have another conversation about
I'm going to rehash it.
winning the Super Bowl? Please.
Just let me win it. I don't care if Tyler Bass throws a winning touchdown.
See, that's different, bro. That's way different than us not having to go through KC.
Why?
If Mitch Trubisky wins the Super Bowl while Josh Allen is still the quarterback of this team.
You know what they're going to say, bro.
Right.
Get rid of Josh. We don't need him.
Exactly.
We don't need him.
I don't think they go that far.
You don't think so?
I don't think they go that far. But what I do know they say is, I told you that team was deep. It's not just Josh. That team is deep. They wouldn't say get rid of him, but it would diminish what Josh's accomplishments are.
Mr. Trubisky is deep, all right.
Now let me ask you this though. Let's go a little further. Let's say he plays and he wins.
Who's that? Josh?
Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky.
Next season, is he like, yo, McDermott? Who's QB1?
If he did that, you'd be fired. I'm like, yo, you got to do that.
No.
I won you a Super Bowl.
I'm like, where were you the last 17 games?
Bro, no. You can't even say that. You know why? Because Philadelphia already gave you the blueprint for it. Shortly after Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, Carson Wentz was expendable.
Well,
they rocked with Nick Foles for a whole season.
Well, what did he do year after year? Carson Wentz didn't play well at all.
Right.
So is Josh going to come back and not play well?
I mean,
he's going to play well.
We can't say that, but I mean,
no.
I'm telling you, I can see it now. Mitch, when the joint, he coming back with the glasses on, he got the chains like Kirk Cochain.
Right. Money making Mitch.
Josh, my guy.
Josh be like
QB2?
Josh be like, here's a list of MVP candidates. I don't see you anywhere, brother. I don't see you anywhere.
See, you know what? David just trying to throw a wrench in the show right now. He said, what if Trubisky beats the Chiefs in the playoffs?
Oh!
Why are you doing this to me.
Yo.
Why?
Yo, I
I'm
gotta
telling
do
you
Philly.
right now.
I gotta try.
No,
Listen.
I gotta try.
do
No, I
not
gotta try.
entertain this. You
I'm
better
telling
not.
you right now.
Oh my God,
I gotta
can't
try.
believe this is happening.
Mitchell Trubisky beats Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs in the playoffs and then wins the Super Bowl. Josh is out of here, bro.
Fam, no.
He's
What?
out of here. I'm telling you, hey, I don't.
You gonna trade him?
Not me.
Nah, they
The
wouldn't.
fans. I'm
Whoa.
telling you,
No,
Key.
no. I can't go there.
Key.
Huh?
These fans.
I mean,
Bills
I hear
Mafia's
you.
fans.
I hear you, but I don't
Josh,
see him
you've
turning
never
that
did
bad.
it. You've never beaten them. You never. I don't care how good you is. You never did it, and the Trubisky did it.
He said Trubisky on purpose, guys. Just so you know,
Telling you.
I can't do it.
he said Trubisky on purpose too. But the thing
Overnight
is,
celebrity.
But this is the thing.
overnight God. Trubisky will become. I'm telling you.
Not wrong though.
I'm
but
telling
this
you.
is the kick. You know how mad I'd be at the fan base if this happened?
Yo.
Because all the love for Josh can do
Yes.
no wrong.
Oh,
In
no
two
way.
games and the
Just-
lore is
just like
over.
that. What is it? 7 years?
2 games
Oh,
and lore is
You're gonna
over.
look at the Bills record books. You're gonna
Who was the
see
starting
in the
quarterback?
same season that Josh broke Jim Kelly's touchdown record, total touchdown. You're gonna see Mr. Trubisky won the Super Bowl that year, and the whole following year after that is just Mr. Trubisky, Mr.
Yep.
Trubisky, Mr. Trubisky.
No, it'd be a quarterback controversy. Like, how?
Yeah.
He's making league minimum and he's making $258 million. How is it a controversy?
Because I beat Pat and I got the ring, baby.
Right, and then it turns into, well, we could save $60 million a year. We got Mr. Trubisky.
He did it once, he can do it again.
The optimism would be through the roof,
That
bro.
would be
There's no way.
hilarious. Yo, I think I'd be around for this. That'd be hilarious.
I would literally go insane.
I would go insane, but I'd be around for it just to see
You
the confusion, the calamity that happens in Bills Mafia if this occurred.
Just
This
the whole,
is the version of the world that you want to watch burn.
Yeah,
Like,
the
that's
multiverse. I'm in there. I'm in the multiverse.
what it is.
I watched the Flash the other day. Now I'm locked in. It's
Watching the
multiverse.
fireworks like eggs.
man.
As it's happening behind me, things are burning down.
You're right, exactly.
Dude. I don't want to think about that.
There it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Marcus said never. Exactly, never.
Oh
That was
my
a hell of a
God.
conversation to have.
Oh, all right. So, a serious, realistic question now. Okay. Thank you,
I was supposed to
FCQ.
go though. You said
Huh?
you said I had to do the narrative for the Ravens, right?
You
Oh,
do.
go ahead, go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not going
please.
to turn this
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Jameis or nothing. But no.
Nowhere in your scenario needs to be a Josh Allen injury. None. Okay.
Well,
thank you.
no, because this is if the Ravens beat the Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what it's going to be is going to cement Lamar Jackson's lure as the unfounded MVP. It's going to cement him as Mount Rushmore level current quarterbacks. You know, there's going to be no talking about it. If Lamar Jackson goes, they're going to say the class of the Titans, and it's going to be Mahomes and Jackson versus Allen somewhere down there. But the one that falls to Giant, that was close last year. Think about it, an AFC Championship, he was close. He lost by 7, right? 17-10.
Yeah.
And he didn't play bad. It was a slow game that they never kicked it in gear.
Yeah.
So I think that would cement Lamar Jackson's legacy as a real quarterback. You know, all jokes aside, if they were to fall to Kansas City
But
Chiefs.
so you think? So what would be the narrative for the Bills? No,
the Bills?
yeah.
Okay,
What we're saying in this scenario is the Ravens beat the Chiefs, then they go on to play the Bills. The Bills beat the Ravens and go
Right.
to the Super Bowl.
Right.
What's the narrative for the Bills if they win the
Right.
Super Bowl?
If that was the case,
Yep.
that would be what you guys want. I think that would
Yeah.
be Josh Allen is the best of the best of the best.
Okay,
So
because
I think that's like the consolation prize. Because
yeah,
the Ravens beat you. Technically, you beat the Chiefs.
yeah.
But in the playoffs, you're going to face them. You like,
But you
But
got
I
to
still
like
think
this
a lot
too.
of people would say right now, even though the Ravens are behind the Steelers in the standings, I still think a lot of people think the Ravens are the third best team in the AFC.
especially when it comes to play. I think you put your trust in that team
Yeah.
more than you do the Steelers. Like
Right.
even though Steelers are looking good right now, that trust factor has to go to the Ravens.
This is where I fall with this. How many times has Josh Allen lost to Pat Mahomes by 30 points?
Never.
Never.
How many times did Josh Allen lose to Lamar Jackson by 30 points?
Once.
Once. So in the same season,
technically.
but in the same season,
Twice.
okay, twice.
So
Oh, the Peterman game?
so yeah, remember
Oh man!
so rookie year, Peterman starts. I forgot who else starts, but Lamar finished the game and Josh finished the game, but they
Yeah.
blew him out, bro. Like I think what was that? 42-7 or something like that?
It was
Oh
horrendous.
yeah,
It was horrendous.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But no, I think if that narrative happened to happen, which would be beautiful. We lost them by 30 this year.
Right.
The get back is real if we beat them to go to the Super Bowl.
In the playoffs.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So, but I still think I think it would be cool, but it would be like oh man, you beat the Ravens, but it would be cool if you to beat the Ravens and the Chiefs. But
what if they do? What if they do what Belichick did back in, what was that, 2000? What was that? When he lost by 31 to the Bills
and he did the
didn't
same
turn it
thing.
off at
Yep.
31 to nothing
Yep.
against us when we went there.
Yep.
If you make a point, if you can make a point about it, hey, the lure is there. But like I told Mac in the car, I think was it on the show? Maybe I did, where I said the real competition is Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson at this point in time. Those are the two.
Yep.
You know, Pat Mahomes, yeah, fine, whatever. But those two are the ones that are going to lead this league to another level.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed. I think I do like the narrative of the Ravens scenario a lot better just because of the revenge. I think the revenge narrative kind of eliminates the conversation about you didn't go through the Chiefs. No, the Ravens got their revenge on the Chiefs in the playoffs, and then the Bills got their revenge on the Ravens from what happened earlier in the season. So I think all of that stuff can sweep the whole Chiefs narrative under the rug easily. There was so FCQ says, would you rather have Josh Allen throw a Super Bowl losing interception or Bass miss? Why did I think this was a serious question? I was hoping for something that didn't put me in a depressed state. He said, would you rather – hold on a second. Somebody just would you rather have Josh Allen throw a Super Bowl losing interception or Bass miss the Super Bowl game winner?
The Mr. Game Winner puts me in the mind of Norwood all over again.
Yeah, I think the whole city would be depressed for 6 months.
But now here's the two different responses. Bass missing the Super Bowl, he's gone.
Oh yeah,
No question.
No question.
It's not even
Right.
you even got to debate it. He's gone.
Yeah.
If Josh throws a game losing interception, now we got to hear that for the whole year. I told you Josh threw too many turnovers, can't be trusted, and all that. You got to, because he's not going anywhere.
Yep.
So you got to hear that the whole year.
Yep. Key, what you think?
That's tough, man. I mean, it's bad either way because you think about the despair with 2 seconds left on the clock, Bass lining up for that kick. How you gonna feel? Because you're never gonna ice him, so you gotta go through a whole commercial, and those Super Bowl commercials be long. Those things be long, and it's gonna be even longer when you gotta wait for this guy to come back and line up and do what he does with little crosses under his eye. And to see him miss it, the hell if it's wide right. You know the narrative forever.
Right.
The Bills lost 2 Super Bowls that they should have won by
a
wide
field
rights.
goal, yep.
And we still hear about that wide right. What is this, 35 years later?
Yeah.
We're still hearing about it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the magnitude of 2 wide rights losing the Super Bowl? Yeah. Now, Josh Allen, what is the scenario where he's throwing an interception? Is he throwing it like the Russell Wilson one against New England, or is it What about now, Laura? What about now?
Huh? Yeah, we're back. We're back. All
Okay.
right, that was probably from me banging on the desk so much. I apologize.
It ain't me. It's heavy hand over here.
I'm gonna have to start putting a cushion up under this laptop. So I'll figure it out. Okay, so Steve asked a question, and I was looking at the Eagles depth chart just to kind of think about what I think about this question. Steve says the only team I don't think is a good matchup for the Bills, and I think he's talking about in the Super Bowl, is Philly. Let me know what you think. What do you think, fellas?
For the Super Bowl?
Philly Bills in the Super Bowl.
Saquon's a bad boy. He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A.J. Brown, he's good, but they don't. What bothers me about the Eagles is Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Because Jalen Hurts, even though he's not Lamar-esque, he can run. He's a dual threat quarterback.
He's more dangerous with his legs, actually.
Right? So I think that I don't like that. And then of course they got Saquon. Like everything else really doesn't bother me. Like their defense is nice. They have they got a pass rush, but I think we do all right against our offense against their defense. It's always their offense that worries me. And Saquon is explosive. He is the best running back in the NFL right now. So that would be scary to see him in the Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Key, what you think?
Just the prospect of being in the Super Bowl just scares me to death. Just the fact of us getting to the game scares me to death because it just like your emotions, the lead up.
So high.
Yeah, I mean, to answer the question though, if you're talking about Eagles versus Lions versus whoever, I mean, it's just really those two to me. Anybody else would be a shock.
I agree.
I think the Eagles D line can be neutralized by our offensive line.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
And Josh, because Josh will
yes,
shake out.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And that's a whole nother dynamic. The fact that he can move the pocket and can make a sack miss. I mean, Jordan Davis and them, you ain't gonna slip out of their hands as easy as you do from a broken foot Fred Warner. But it helps. If you're talking about Saquon and Hurts, I liken it to Lamar and Derrick Henry. That's like a Temu version almost.
But I think
Saquon is better than Derrick Henry, but
Yeah.
Lamar is a world better than Hurts to me.
But so the caveat with that is the Steelers' blueprint to stop Lamar Jackson is to keep him in the pocket and make him throw.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. They don't allow him to break out and run. Like they want you to keep him in that pocket. Go ahead and kill us with the arm because he hasn't proven that he can do that from that position. Just like Josh. Like Josh is better when he's scrambling to his right.
Yeah.
He's going to kill you or he's take off running.
Yeah.
It's over. Right? But Jalen Hurts, though, he's going to me, they use him like a regular running back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's from where I'm with it,
it's not a gadget. It's just a regular play.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he scares me more like that because if you let him throw, he can launch it to A.J. Brown. If you let him run, he's not going to break off like a 30-yard run, but he's going to get a first down and keep the chains moving. And that keeps Barkley in the game. Because as long as the score is not out of hand, Barkley you know how Barkley get.
Well, I have to
passing
see,
and running. He gonna kill you both ways.
Well, I have to see how because obviously we've dealt with a lot of speed. We've dealt with a lot of things that the NFC just is not equipped for.
Yeah.
The mini version A-Chain, the little fast speedster receiving back. We've dealt with that. We've dealt with Derrick. We lost to him, but we've seen Derrick Henry. We've seen the dual threat quarterbacks. We've seen a lot of stuff in the AFC that they don't have in the NFC. So I think for me, I have a lot of faith in this defense. I have a lot of faith in it. It's not a clean defense. It's not a dominant defense on paper. On the stat sheet, it's dominant because you look at how they do. I didn't realize they had that. I didn't realize they at the end. I didn't realize they had that many. They were that high in sacks in the league.
Yeah.
But it's like okay, they are, and that's kind of their calling card. That's been their calling card under McDermott. It's a quiet, effective defense.
And they got a lot of takeaways too.
And that's
Number
the
one
thing.
in the league.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You don't think about that when you think about the Buffalo Bills defense.
Yep.
So if you're talking about my defense versus this offense, Saquon's going to go off. He's going to go off. Yeah. But A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and whoever else they have over there, they're mitigated by the fact we have a bend but don't break secondary.
Right.
Now what you want to do is Saquon better than Josh Allen? That's where I am with it.
Okay.
Is Saquon better than Josh?
Right.
You got to ask yourself that, because run versus pass, and that's how we win. When we break away and try to make that our thing. Yep. Now, if you're talking about the Lions, you've seen them tear you apart in the air. You've seen them tear you apart on the ground.
Right.
I mean, it's if you have the perfect formula to kind of figure out what their game plan is before they get heavy into it, then you'll win. Yeah. Because they can go into the game and say, we're going to run on this team all day. Yeah. Or we're going to go in and pass on them. If you can come up with the right scheme to mitigate whatever they're going to do, you're going to win.
And I think with the Lions, I ain't got to worry about Jared Goff scrambling.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Right? So if I went on the scoreboard, that takes out Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Now it's on Jared Goff.
Yep.
But if we don't, don't get me wrong, Jared Goff, he can stay in the pocket. He can kill you in the pocket. But if you send pressure to him, that's it. Make him move.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the matchup itself for the Bills is actually very good. And when you look at last year when the Bills played the Eagles in Philly, they put up what, 35 points on them? They put up it was over
coaching.
30 points.
Okay, let me take you there, because I like your point. Had this coach been on that team last year,
we win that game. Yeah.
We win that game
for sure. Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of my point, because the offense that we played last year is the same as it is this year. They're not performing at an elite clip. They're not. The biggest difference is Saquon Barkley. You know what I mean? Yes, they have a run game. Okay, fine. But how's the passing game been? It has not been that great. Right. Even when Devontae Smith is in there, a part of this is injuries. Both the receivers have been hurt this year. Mm-hmm. And I get the whole, when A.J. Brown plays, that team is undefeated. But we played them with both guys last year, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But we played them when they had both guys last year, and they didn't run away on us. No. You know what I'm saying? The biggest difference with that team this year, like I said, is Saquon Barkley, but also they have a better secondary. But all of that stuff is mitigated by Josh Allen. A secondary don't matter. The second Josh runs out of that pocket, everybody is pooping their pants. Yeah. That's just what it is.
I mean, take it further, it's not even just Josh. We talk about Steph Diggs. We talk about Gabe Davis. Look at who we got now.
Yeah.
Mac Hollins, if you don't know this, he has two catch streaks, 2 4-game catch streaks this season. He had what do you have? He had I think it was 18 catches, 15 of them for first downs, 3 of them were touchdowns. He's a chain mover. Khalil Shakir. We didn't have this stuff. Let Curtis Samuel start cooking.
Yeah.
Let Coleman come back.
Let Keon come. Let us figure out how to use Kincaid. Man, you're talking about the greatest show on turf.
Right.
Easy. We don't have enough spots on the field for what we're talking about if this happens. Right. And it's doable because we've seen it in different iterations this whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Steve goes to say Philly secondary is physical. AJ is too physical of a freak to be covered by Bill's CBs. Once Saquon goes off, we have problems. The D-line also have a lot of freaks. Yeah, so much of what I've been doing, and I think Steve to a degree has been doing this season, is we've been looking a lot at the pieces and not necessarily the scheme. Mm-hmm. And I think last night it was a combination of weather and scheme that won the day for the Buffalo Bills. I think more so weather, but I also think scheme. I think if that game was played in perfect weather, I still think the Bills come out of that. My prediction for the game was 31-20, and the Bills were just about there, 4 points more than that. But with this Eagles team, I think it's the same as the fear for the Ravens. One run, 175-yard touchdown run, and now all of a sudden the team has the momentum. Okay. I would fall into that if I didn't see the Bills start to play better at the end of the second quarter and in the second half of that Ravens game, where it looked like they were starting to come back. You know what I'm saying? I truly, strongly believe now, after watching the entire season and then looking at that Ravens game in a vacuum, and then also in the macro of the season, I look at that Ravens game and I say, and I've been saying this a lot, the Bills didn't really know who they were in that game. They were still figuring out who they were on offense. They were still figuring out what they were going to do in key situations, who they were going to in key situations, who they could count on to perform at what level.
Yep.
It was week 4
Agree.
for crying out loud.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying? So when something like that happens and you see the Bills start to claw back and then the trick play happens and they lose momentum fully, it's completely understandable. You're not at home. The fans are crazed at that point. They already got a 75-yard touchdown run. It looks like the Ravens are playing out of their minds good at that night, and it doesn't seem like you got it. Mm-hmm. And you just messed up again. You know what, fellas? Let's get up out of here.
Mind you, no Taron Johnson that game.
Right.
No Terrell Bernard. No Milano.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Right. And so all of this is to say, a matchup with the Eagles looks about the same as a matchup with the Ravens at this point, except Hurts is no Lamar Jackson. He's not. Mm-hmm. I cannot see Hurts creating in the passing game the way that a Lamar Jackson can. Mm-hmm. And Hurts is not as fast as Lamar Jackson. No. And I'm not saying that has to be the comparison, but when I'm talking about a weapon at quarterback and a weapon at running back in the same ilk as the Philadelphia Eagles, I have to go with the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And I think the Buffalo Bills showed to a degree that they can make adjustments against that in the Ravens game. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they could absolutely do it against the Eagles. Would it be tough? Yeah, but once we saw the Bills really figure it out, it became a matter of time before the Bills figured out how to put you in the ground. I mean, the Dolphins were the last team to really push the Bills, like, at all, and that was a divisional game. You know what I'm saying? So
who's already pissed off at us.
Right. and for what anybody wants to say about this 49ers team coming in here injured last night, that offensive line was missing one guy. Mm-hmm. They were missing their left tackle, right? The run game still looked pretty damn good.
Yep.
What it really came down to is Brock Purdy didn't have enough time because the pass rush still in the snow was getting home, and Brock Purdy didn't play well. But when you listen to Kyle Shanahan after the game, Brock Purdy's injury didn't affect him at all. He said his shoulder did not. He didn't have any issues with the shoulder.
Hey, if that's the case, he sucks.
But you know what though?
Right.
What though? I'm willing to agree with that point that it wasn't his shoulder because if you look at the game, Deebo Samuel non-existent.
Right.
Kittle non-existent. Juwan Jennings non-existent. Like nobody was doing anything but McCaffrey.
Exactly.
So they didn't have a passing game because they couldn't get open.
Right.
Granted, yes, it's snowy, so you can't cut, you can't plant like you want to plant.
But the receivers have the advantage in the snow.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I even take that. His arm wasn't hampered, but everybody else was.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So,
Steve Noble had a good point. The same questions we asked and worry about playing the teams are the same questions the other podcasts are talking about when they're talking about the Bills.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're very worried about us as we are them.
I'm telling you right now, I don't care if you are the Chiefs. No team in the NFL want to play the Bills here.
Right.
Especially in January.
I don't think any team wants to play the Bills, period. Right now. On a 7-game heater, they're going for blood. I mean, nobody wants to see that. Yeah. You know, whether they win or not. They're not going to go into, I choose you.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah,
you to mark. No, the Bills are nobody's mark right now.
No.
Imagine winning 12 games in a row going into the playoffs. Can you imagine? I don't think, has a team ever, besides the Patriots, but like, aside from an undefeated team or the Patriots, have we seen a team win 12 straight going into the playoffs? That's insane.
Yeah, I doubt it.
So, and what I hope happens is, matter of fact, let me pull up the Chiefs schedule real quick because I want to see. I think the Chiefs are in a little bit of a gauntlet even like right now because I think all these tough teams they got to play are in the next. You got it?
Yeah, I got you. So you're looking at the remaining schedule?
Yes.
Chargers, then at Cleveland, Houston at home, Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and Denver in Denver.
Oh, so you could easily – so really, realistically –
they could lose 2 of those games.
Yeah, I agree. I have the Chiefs losing to the Chargers. I also have the Chiefs losing to the Broncos at the end of the season. I just think they're going to be in Denver, completely different story from when the Broncos were, doing everything they could to stay in the game and fighting hard in KC. You know what I'm saying? You're playing with a rookie Bo Nix. By this time after that game, the Broncos now have confidence. Bo Nix has been playing better and better as the season goes on. I think by the time they get to that game, They're still in playoff contention. They're probably in the playoffs and fighting for better positioning. I think the Broncos are going to want to stick it to the Chiefs if they can and get them out of that 1 seed so that they don't have to go to KC. You know what I'm saying? The Broncos don't know anything about the Bills right now other than we're damn good and they don't want to see us.
Right.
But I know they don't want to go to Kansas City. So I have the Chargers and the Broncos beating the Chiefs. But again,
Underscore said Pittsburgh was 11-0 in the first round exits.
11-0 going into the playoffs. Wow.
Yeah, they lost in the first round.
Wow. Well, that's not us. It's definitely not us. No, but yeah. So I wanted to say I don't think I want the Bills going into that last week, having already clinched it. You know what I'm saying? I want them focused. I want them fighting. I want them playing for that 1 seed and getting it after the Chiefs lose to the Broncos, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be even nicer if, the Chiefs were a game behind. Well, they would be 2 games behind if they lost 2 games, right? Because we beat them, so that puts them a game behind.
So everybody says if they lose 1 game, we're a half a game ahead because we got the same record and we won the tie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but wouldn't it be a full game because we beat them?
They're saying. I don't know why they keep saying half game, but they keep saying
so
half
right,
game.
okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So right now they're a half game ahead because technically in the standings they're 1 game ahead, but we beat them.
Okay.
So right now they're a half. Yeah. So if they lose a game, we'll be a full game ahead of them. If they lose 2, we'll be 2 games ahead of them because we beat them. Even though they would technically only be 1 game behind us in the standings, they would be 2 losses behind us because we beat them and they lost a game.
Yep.
So I prefer the Bills being sharp going into the playoffs, getting that number 1 seed in week 18. After beating the
Patriots.
The Patriots. You know what I'm saying? But if it so happens that the Chiefs lose 2, I'm okay with that as well. But I still, I want them fighting because if they get the 1 seed and they fought for it and they take that week off, I think the focus is still there during that off week. But if they already had it wrapped up and then they don't play in week 18 and then they get another week off.
Do you think that's too much?
Yeah, that's too much. It's too much relaxation, too much complacency at that point. Like, just keep fighting. Keep thinking that underdog mentality, Steve Lynn said it's hard to scheme against the better athletes in the playoffs. Elite players and elite schemes win. McDermott is not elite at scheming, and our players that can stop the run are not elite. I mean, listen, I'm not going to be the person to sit here and tell you that our talent level is on par with the Eagles. I don't think our scheme is really about talent, because if it was, I mean, Christian Benford wouldn't be our number 1 corner. He just wouldn't. You know what I mean? So I think what has made the Bills successful is you almost have to say it's scheme, because we know it's not. Like, the Bills are not the most physically talented team in the NFL.
I'm telling you, Bobby Babbage.
Yeah. I think his in-game
Babbage,
adjustments, wholeheartedly, I strongly believe that. I think what Joe Brady is doing as far as his in-game adjustments, even in what we saw, and this is very subtle, even in the game last night, we saw them go from starting the game playing shotgun, running a lot of motion before the snap, to just lining up under center. We just gonna bull rush y'all boys. Mm-hmm. We ain't playing around. Wasn't no more motions after that, because they saw it happening in the first series. They saw the linebackers cheating up. They everything was so easy to read and so easy to react to in shotgun. You can see it coming. But when you're up under center, now you got to guess. Now those linebackers can't cheat up, because what if play action comes? It's snowy out here. I'm way out of position. You know what I'm saying? So even in small in-game adjustments like that Joe Brady made, it made a huge difference in that game. And that's something that happened on the fly. And again, these are the types of things that we have not seen this Buffalo Bills team do in 7 years before this year. So I wholeheartely think scheme can beat talent. We see it on a week-to-week basis. And the Buffalo Bills have been doing it all year.
I mean, honestly, look at the Patriots run. How many of those teams fit in here?
Yes, that's exactly right.
There were all these physically gifted teams.
Yeah.
But then you got this team over here who's their star player? Oh, I guess we'll say Welker or whatever. But see, that's the thing when I talk about the players we have on our team. I say, Walker was not a commercial guy, everywhere plug and play kind of dude, but he was a star there. Yep. You know, we have those kind of players here. And if you start drafting with that mind state that you have those kind of players to build upon, we would be onto something.
Yeah. Yeah. Steve is replying to Steve. Steve says, I think your hope for McD failure is greater than Bills fanhood. I think you want to be right more than you want the Bills win. Want the Bills to win. If the Bills win the Super Bowl, is McD still the wrong guy?
It really is Steve versus Steve.
No, well, I don't want to make it that, but I'll say this. I think because I'm still at the point of thinking in my head, okay, if Sean McDermott doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, I think the experiment's got to be over. And I know we're sitting here talking about a Super Bowl run. I know where we are in the season. I know what's at stake right now. But I still stand on what I said at the beginning of the season. If Sean cannot get it done this season, and even if the Chiefs are knocked out before the Bills get there, if the Bills lose to the Ravens, to me that's worse. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the Chiefs out of the way. You still couldn't get it done, right? But I think for me, it really comes down to, and I think I can't speak for Steve. Steve, you let me know if this is where you're at. For me, it's what is the offense going to look like? I don't want my franchise all-time great quarterback having to deal with shifting offenses every 2-3 years. And as long as he has a defensive-minded head coach who is not the guy bringing an offensive scheme that will stay there the quarterback's entire career like Andy Reid is doing with Mahomes, to me that's something I always have to worry about. If I'm in the mindset to continuously optimize, continuously get better, like coaches do, that's the one thing that stands out to me. That's not to say I hate Sean McDermott, but that's simply to say if there's one area where the Bills could optimize, it's to make sure that whatever offensive scheme we have here for Sean for Josh, that allows Josh to be great. I want that to be there. That's that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So to your point, I'm glad you brought that up because we got a problem, conspiracy theorist. We got a problem.
What?
Was that not Josh that crashed Scott Van Pelt's interview with Sean McDermott, who interjected Coach of the Year? Was that not Josh Allen who Sean McDermott said, hey, let's do Snow Angels right now. Let's do it. Come on. They got done and did it. Was that not Josh? Was that not Josh that snatched his hat off and put on an AFC East championship hat? I mean, Alex Brasky suggests they're best friends. I won't go that far. But I'm thinking there was some kind of understanding or some kind of conversation that took place. Or we could have just been reading too much into what we thought about that locker room interaction. Now, this is a caveat to what I want to talk to you.
Real quick, by the way, David Reed said Josh Allen just won the Hemi Award on ESPN.
He won a what?
He won a Hemi.
The Hemi? Nah, hell no. Hell
Why?
No.
Why you can't win a Hemi?
There's only one Hemi. And Hemi Cook. Timothy Cook. There's no Hemis besides. That's why his name is Timothy. His mom knew what she was naming him when she named him. It's just Spanish. It's Timothy.
No, his name in Spanish is Jaime.
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 I know it is Jaime. But no, I was going to say, because you said, you said that without a Super Bowl, you had to have some kind of hardware. You want Josh Allen to get his MVP. What would you do if this is the year McDermott got Coach of the Year?
I would support it. I'm serious.
No, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but go ahead. Okay.
I would respect it because I think the clarity and the levity and the honesty that it takes to understand that maybe you need to back off a little bit, maybe you need to get coaches that are better at communicating with players than you are and hiring those guys, giving them the freedom to do their jobs the way that they need to, and making tweaks as you go along, but not necessarily having to enforce your specific culture at every single turn the way that Sean did in the past. I think that definitely deserves to be commended. I think he should get credit for that, and hopefully him winning that award or having the potential to win that award or whatever. I don't know where he's been in any of the runnings any other year, but if he does win it, I hope that propels him into a mindset of this is how you win. You stay flexible. You do what it takes, and as far as giving people the power and empowering players, empowering support coaches and quality control guys, whatever you need to do, to make things easier for the guys around you to win. You do that, even if that means sacrificing a little bit of what you think is right or wrong. It's all in the name of the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not putting culture before a ring. Mm-hmm. So,
no, I actually respect that. Like I didn't really expect you to have an answer for it, but I think that made me think even greater about how I already felt. I'd be fine with him getting it because this is a year for him to do so.
Absolutely,
the year where you have a team that everybody thought was Mr. Sam Macho. I'm talking to you.
Speaking of that, I want to play something after you get done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it is Sam, right? Sam, right? Or is it Emmanuel? Which one? Emmanuel Acho. I'm talking to you. Sam, you're good. You cool. You're cool with me. But, it's just the count-ups. Like, we had the show. We did not take, even none of us, even Mac. Mac said they're going to be all right, but not this. Right. I said 11 wins best. They're already pretty much there, and it's the fact that a guy who had a report, dissension, the team said, yo, F you. Tyler Dunn, do your worst. Right. And this is the outcome. Just keep building. Like you said, keep building on that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely one of the things we talked about when the Tyler Dunn report came out is okay, hopefully this makes him change. And it seems to have done that. Well, because this is the other part of it. Once he gets into the playoffs, like the regular season is one thing. It's easy to let up in the regular season. There's always a game the following week, right, whether you want it to come or not. In the playoffs, it's elimination. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to tighten up? Are you going to take the power away from the boys to help you get there? Yeah. Are you going? So all right, go ahead, bro.
This is not to any of the fans, not to Bills Mafia. This is to the national media, who saw the beginning of the season, saw the schedule, and had the audacity to say what they said. So I'm gonna play this for you guys.
The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
It's finally the Miami Dolphins' time. They win the division for the first time since, like 2008 or something. The Jets are second. They're just more talented than the Bills.
Everybody's gone. You don't have enough talent to compete. The game of football is about talent.
The New York Jets, their roster on paper is nasty.
We just don't know how great of a performance Josh Allen is going to put on with this young, talented, or not talented group of guys that we don't know.
I don't believe in Miami. I would pick the Jets to win the AFC East this year. I really would.
You know how I feel about the Dolphins. I think it is their team.
Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Josh Allen. Point blank, period.
I got the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo.
All right. Buffalo.
Dog got to beat the other dog on the opposite side of the field, and the Bills have run out of dogs.
The entire media was so sick of me being the only person right about them the last 4 years. They've now gone in the other direction, and now they're too far down on the Bills.
It's over. It's a wrap.
So there it is. There's the AFC East.
There's the AFC East, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. AFC East winners for the 5th year in a row, the Buffalo Bills.
Man.
2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now,
The thing that pissed me off was this. I'm not mad that they said, the Jets look better on paper. Cool. I'm cool with that. But the fact that y'all thought just because we lost some stars that we were going to drop down, we still had Josh Allen. Like, don't get me wrong. Nobody said nothing when Tyreek Hill left KC. Nobody said nothing when Tyrann Mathieu left KC. They didn't say, oh, Russell Wilson is in Denver now. He's going to – nobody said that.
Yeah.
Right? But y'all thought just because we lost our offense or a couple starters that Josh Allen was going to do what he's going to do. Like, stop disrespecting my man. Josh is that dude. He's the second best quarterback in the NFL.
You know what's funny about that point? And go ahead, finish with your thought. Go ahead.
So that's what kind of like you had the worst season ever. Y'all ain't got no dogs. Y'all windows closed. Like, really? That's what y'all thought? That the Bills were just gonna fold. And here's the thing. They've won it ever since. Like, there was no slowing down. It wasn't like, oh, well, they barely won. We won. Now 5 times in a row. So to me, you can't say the Bills is not going to win unless Josh Allen leaves or there's somebody, you take our star player away from us, which is Josh Allen. If he's still here, we still got a chance to win because in my mind, I'll say this too, and I'll end it. You want to know who's winning the division? Take every division. Whoever the best quarterback is, 9 times out of 10, they're winning the division.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'd say go division by division. Who's the best quarterback? Probably they're in the playoffs. They probably win a division. Until the NFL changes, this is a passing league still. So if you don't have an elite quarterback, it's not happening.
Real quick, Steve Noble says, you guys have made me think twice about McD, and I am thankful. I do see a huge difference in him this year. He is trusting his coaches and not trying to do it all. Players develop, but so do coaches. Yeah, I'm going to be quick. I think that might be something that I myself am not used to seeing as a Buffalo Bills fan. We fired so many during the drought, and I've become accustomed to you're not the guy, you're not getting it done the way I see it happen on other teams, you got to go. And maybe there is something to be said about letting Sean learn from his mistakes, even though this is the first year of 8 that we've seen some changes in the right direction, in my opinion. I mean, other people might think differently, but I think this is the first year that I can really point to and say, you know what? Maybe he does need another year to see if he gets better than this, and if he can. The tough part for Sean this year is the team is doing so well, it is Super Bowl or bust. It just is. There is no more go beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, because if you do beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, you got to go win the Super Bowl now. You know what I'm saying? We've been saying there was, in years past, man, if the Bills had beaten the Chiefs in 13 seconds, we would have won the Super Bowl because the Rams weren't all that. Or you know what I mean? I mean, we could say the same thing about the Eagles this season. They've lost to some bad teams. They ain't all that. So I think for me this year, I'm just gonna sit back, enjoy the show. If my thoughts at the beginning of the season had some credence, it'll show. If they don't, it'll show. And either way, I'll react, and I'll take it in stride. Key, what you got?
Well, I was just going to say, to your point, which is ironic, Josh Allen is having a statistically worst year of his career. But what that lends to is Josh finally figuring out, I don't have to do the stuff I thought I had to do before.
Yep.
I'm not throwing at a good clip, completion percentage-wise. I'm not going to put up 4,000 yards this year. I'm not going to hit 30 touchdowns, probably, passing. But we're still winning. So what that tells me, people, and I get it. I did the math here, and I was kind of hastily going through it. But since Jim Kelly in '96, we have had. Let me just go through this real fast. I'm not going to name them, but
As
you all know.
He flies through an Excel spreadsheet he created. I'm telling you, we're coming out with a database, y'all. We've
had 40 different starting quarterbacks since Jim Kelly in '96. 40? Let's start at least one. And that's some duplicates. Like, this is a different season, but that's my point. We had 40. So when people see Josh Allen, like, oh man, he's out, but you got to kind of pepper it a little bit, because we haven't seen. Last time Jim Kelly was in the league, I was 12. I'm 40 now. That was '96 when he retired. We haven't seen anything comparable to any kind of competent quarterbacking since '96. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the only quarterback, I believe, that started more than 3 seasons for us in that time frame. So when you see, we were talking about Christ today, and I've known this about myself forever, but the more people hype up stuff, the less I like said person, even though it's not anything they did.
Yep.
So like for Josh, last night, what did we hear about? The lateral. He made a heads-up play. Nobody mentioned Amari Cooper.
Right.
Nobody said Amari Cooper at all. Josh Allen made the play. No, Amari Cooper batted up a bad throw, caught it. He bobbed with it while trying to keep his feet. and saw the man wherewithal to toss the ball back.
Yeah.
He even admitted that Josh missed the throw. He said it was a bad throw.
Yeah,
he was running just in case it was going to be turnover or fumble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, my thing is like, yes, it's beautiful. We haven't seen this since McCaffrey. This trifecta. We haven't seen. I think David Patton did it from New England way back, and somebody else I can't remember. Danian Tomlinson. But the point is, okay, it was a great play. But let's give all the participating characters their just due, because that play is not going to happen unless Josh originally messes up, right? But instead, no, it's a heads up play by Josh because we love Josh. Now, had that been anybody else on the team, who would have got the credit? Amari Cooper all day.
Yeah.
But because Josh did it, never mind everything else, just pass the ball. I like it. I enjoy watching it, but at the same time, it's like, I know where this is going. I know what the radio is going to say. Now I can't deal with it, because it's like, it's like, come on now.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. This town is emotional. I think the town is very emotional. I think we're because we're so passionate, because the Bills are the hottest thing in the city. Any given year, the Bills are always the hottest thing in the city. They're the biggest thing in the city. Yep. You know what I mean? And I think this team gets very volatile over that, whether it's for the better or for the worse. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. You can react to entertainment however you want. That's what it's there for. It's there to distract you from your problems and your issues and, whatever other, stuff you got going on in your life. The Bills just happen to be a very, very big one in can I say the world right now? Yeah. Can I? You know what I mean?
I'll let him have his moment. I'm not gonna poop on the guy. That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's just the fact that, like I said, and not to pirate your point, but it's just like sometimes we have to act like we've seen something before. We've seen Josh for 7 years now.
That's true.
He's done a lot of stuff for 7 years now.
Yeah, but folks on the radio acting like they ain't never seen this before.
Ever again.
And I think it's got something to do with what Keith said, because we have never seen this in 30 years, bro. And I even say this, even when Kelly was balling, he wasn't as big a scar as Josh is right now.
Yeah, it didn't look like that. No.
Like, don't get me wrong, he was a Pro Bowler. Yes, he was a top quarterback, but he wasn't the quarterback.
Right.
So 21 different names in 40 different occurrences started for the Bills since Jim Kelly left. We've only had 2 players throw for more than 25 touchdowns in the season. 2 players.
Dang.
That's all you need to know. Jim Kelly and Josh Allen. The only one that was close was 24 with Drew Bledsoe.
That's crazy.
In 60 years of professional football, we have 2 players done it 5 times.
When we was in the car and they said that Josh broke Jim Kelly's record with 54 less games. Damn. So I'm like, yo, let me pull how many seasons is that? It works out to be like 3.4 seasons, whatever. So like 3 seasons in week 4. He broke the record with that less seasons. But to Josh's point, though, back when Jim Kelly was playing, it wasn't a pass-happy league. It was a running league, right? Yep. Not to take anything away from Josh, but that's still impressive. You got the franchise record in 7 years in touchdowns.
Yeah, I think the only worst example of, well, I don't want to word it this way because I don't want to discredit Josh, but basically what I'm getting at is the worst example of the best quarterback in franchise history is Lamar. Who is he going against? They have not had
Flacco.
Right. Flacco, Bowler. I mean,
Trent
Dilfer. Wow. Who's he going against? So it's like by default, you are now in the annals of time with regards to the Ravens, and now Josh and this history of no quarterback, nothing.
How did you get away with that?
He be reading. He knows the word. He be reading. He knows the thesaurus.
He specifically said he's in the annals of time.
Yep.
Like, how do you? Oh,
I'm good.
My gosh.
But no, I mean the thing is, it's just
this episode is rigged.
It's rigged.
It's
Kansas City, sponsored by Kansas City.
Yeah. I got chosen. That's it. See, this is exactly how it happens with the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yep.
The refs coming for the other team in some way, shape, or fashion. Lindsay says Josh's turnovers are down. Bills number 1 in takeaways and points after turnovers. Bills offense 2nd in scoring. Bills 4th in scoring defense. 10-2. Keep it going.
Yeah,
bro,
man.
Are we top 5 in like every category? Offense and defense?
Where it counts.
That's crazy.
The ones that matter.
Excuse
yeah.
me, where it counts, yeah.
Who would have thought?
Excuse me. Leak says all Josh needs is 265 passing yards per game to reach 4,000 passing yards. Y'all think he gets it?
No.
But he need
265
per
a game for the last 5 games.
Because I honestly think those last games in with the Jets and New England,
yeah, he ain't gonna need to do much.
he's probably
not
gonna be
doing it.
running most of the time.
Yeah, he does. I mean, looking at it real quick, how many times he's thrown for 265 this year? He's got 3 times he's thrown for over 265 this year.
However, I can't see him going for 300s in the Rams and the Lions game. I can see that being a high passing game for Josh in both of those games. But the last 3, I just can't see. I can't see Patriots, Jets, and Patriots him throwing for 300 yards.
Wait till you see what HIMBO does. That's all I'm gonna say. We had a conversation. We talked. HIMBO, he let me know. He said, "Key, I got you."
It is 165-yard touchdown run. Now all of a sudden,
No,
that's
you
what he
know,
does.
it wasn't just that one touchdown. I've been on HIMBO for a while now.
65 yards in the snow.
In the snow.
Yeah, all right. You're right. I'm sorry. I was
and to answer
so
your
wrong.
question from last night, he's projected to be 4 yards short of 1,000 yards this year.
So he had 996.
996. That's where he's supposed to be.
Wow. Do y'all think he gets 1,000 yards this season?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
James Cook, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love it. I feel like I don't think so.
Do you think?
I don't think so.
I think if he gets close, they're gonna want it for him.
Yep. I think he gets it because I'm just the guy. Like I don't know. I found this out about myself. I hate premeditated stats. So projections, I can't stand them. To me, they're just like weathermen. They're always wrong.
Right,
last night,
I can't stand them.
Yo, Matt was mad. Like he's like, yo, the weatherman said it was gonna stop. He just kept saying it. The weatherman said it's gonna stop.
I can't stand it. So, he's on page 2. How do you know? Like every game has a different scenario, has a different scheme. You just can't say, he's been doing this, so he's probably gonna do this. No.
Well, I mean, you
like averages, right? Averages.
Yeah. That's the thing
when
I can't
do an
stand.
average. That means this guy does better. Sometimes he does worse. But like that average is the combination of both.
Matt, you know math don't lie. But no, you know what you said was what I can't stand. And not what you said.
What?
You're right, because when it comes to they never do this when it's third.
Right.
Numbers get broken sometimes.
Right.
It happens, or else we wouldn't play the game. We play with a calculator. We over here like, okay, yeah, no, you got to have some analytics. But at the same time, you go out there and play ball, because guess what? In basketball, Steph Curry might go for 80% three-pointers, but then he might go for 20. You never know.
Right.
He's supposed to, but you don't know what's going to happen in real life. And people that live and die by that sword drive me insane.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to pour some water on this Steve versus Steve battle going on here. Listen. I got the Inspire Change hat on. I got a Choose Love hat coming in the mail. I promise you, I keep it on for y'all. Just tone it down a little bit. Tone it down. All right. Any final
Versatile
thoughts?
blows.
Huh?
For the jugular.
Yeah. Right. Any thoughts before we get out of here, or did you have more stuff?
Only thing I got is
and we got a producer queue too.
all I got is the Rams game a trap game?
I've been saying I think that's the trap game left the rest of the season. It's hard. It's hard. The focus that this team has had, the Bills, I mean, all of these last 7 games, it seems like none of the key moments in the game have been too big for them. And that's something we haven't seen ever. We've never seen a team that's prepared for every key situation that comes up in a tight game against the Dolphins. Didn't matter. Got the job done. In the first quarter against the 49ers after we went 3 and out. Didn't matter. Got the job done. The game against the Chiefs. No key situation. It didn't matter. Got it done. So, I think with the adversity this team has seen over the last 7 seasons and where they've been in the playoffs and all that kind of stuff, I just think they make too many great in-game adjustments. I think the team itself as a whole, schematically and the culmination of the talent is too great. I mean, realistically, the Rams have a great defensive line and great offensive ancillary pieces. Their offensive line is not great. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going, position against position, I think there's too many mismatches for the Rams against us.
I like that. I mean, I never really put that much stock in the Rams anyway. When I see the Rams, they're good usually, but to me, they're still that Jerome Bettis Rams team from way back when that was just
really
toilet bowl. Yeah, it's just like I just can't get. There's certain teams in every sport you just look at, you're like, yo, they used to be horrible. They're still horrible. Even though I think the only difference in my mind would be the Patriots, because when we were kids watching the Patriots, they were abysmal until Bledsoe came. But then, 20 years of beatdowns, that kind of clears your nose up a little bit. You're like, okay, you guys ain't that bad after all. Short history. But yeah, I think for whatever reason, I keep thinking about what's his name? Tre'Davious White playing.
Oh yeah.
Even though he's not there anymore, I keep thinking I wanted that game so bad.
Right.
I wanted that so bad.
It would have been even better to see him sitting on the sideline. Like, yeah, that's why we kicked you out. That's why we let you go. That's why right there.
Yeah.
You being on the sideline.
Another local legend.
Yeah. And then him going to Baltimore and getting a really, really bad pass interference call on him. Yeah. Even better. All right. I'm fine with it.
The two teams for me that no matter what they do, I will always look at them as being a team that just not going to be good is the Jets and the Browns.
The Browns that's a winner.
Until something happens, in my mind, 10 years from now, they will always be bad teams.
Yeah, I keep thinking
until
about the
something
Browns.
Miraculously changes, but
yeah.
I have no trust whatsoever in the Jets organization or the Browns.
When I think about the Browns, I think about when they got moved out of Cleveland without anybody telling them. That's forever in my mind.
Yeah,
they just disappeared one day. Like,
why it is kept, the real Browns are the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
That's true. That's very true. Mm-hmm. Outside looking in says, so are you changing your opinion on McDermott yet?
Okay, y'all, don't push the issue. He had a vulnerable moment. Okay, don't do this because he's gonna go right back into his little cocoon. Don't do it.
It's not a matter of going in my cocoon. See, that's the thing. I'm always an objective guy. I am. When I present my opinions on the show, it's not a hard stance that can't be changed. I think I've said several times, I'm willing to listen if I see changes in McDermott. I think I've said that a few times, but like I'll put it like this: if I see a problem and I call it out, and the problem still continues to persist, then I'm going to call for that problem to be abolished. And I think that's what I've been doing. But if I call out a problem and I see changes happening that make the problem begin to go away, I'm fine with the beginning stages because I know what beginning stages mean. I've seen beginning stages of the Bills in 2017 leading us to this point now where we're at. So that has never been an issue for me. To answer your question, OLI, it's beginning to. I'll say that. It's beginning to, but, big but, if we get into the playoffs and we see a lot of the same issues, I ain't got no choice, my man. I ain't got no choice.
Hey, it's a mute point because in January, if we get knocked out in the first round, it's over.
That's over. Very true.
It's over.
That's very true. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if we don't get the 1 seed, which I think is a very low percentage of happening now with what we've seen. If we don't get the 1 seed and then we lose in the first round of the playoffs, yeah, there's no way. There's no way. Hey, listen, if Trammell is saying it, that's what it is. So, yeah. All right.
I was say I'm starting like that camera at the end of the game where they walk to the locker rooms and they, the big Dubs camera, whatever.
Yep.
I think it's hilarious. Ed Oliver threw up the W, ate the W, which was I was gonna make fun of that. We already did that ad nauseum. Even though Jameis Winston just had a 44-yard touchdown on Jerry Jeudy. Anyway.
Jameis, you're probably not watching, but hit Njoku. I need Njoku to go off, baby. Hit Njoku for me.
But did you watch it? Did you see it at all? This camera I'm talking about,
yep.
Where they had who was it? Russell Douglas dancing, and Cam Lewis dancing, and then like Van Pran was like, but then they pushed him back and they made him dance. It was hilarious. And also Mac Hollins with the, you know what to do, smoke him if you got him. Now when he goes into the locker room, does he take his shoes off first?
He has to.
Because normally you take your pads off, his pants, but he's got to be like fully equipped. With
First thing, get
first
these
thing.
cleats off the feet.
Wait, stop the show. Steve said, I am a competition steak and barbecue cook and would love to get together and cook for this entire bunch at a Super Bowl parade. What? Oh, man.
Man, listen.
Oh, man.
We gonna
listen.
we get the Super Bowl. We punch a ticket, and you only get in if you want
right
to show.
now. If the Bills do it, you're doing it.
That's right.
It's over. If the Bills do it,
that, right?
you're doing it.
Anybody leave this show, man? If you left the show before the show was over, you missed out because you gotta have a little ticket.
Man, I can't wait. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. I like to eat, man. I like to eat.
Timestamp, yeah, buddy.
FCQ says Mac Hollins made so many good blocks last night. I mean, including
did.
pulling people's hair. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, he got away with that.
Yeah.
You know, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. It is what it is. But
he's
you know,
quietly becoming an excellent player for the Bills.
Yeah. That's the role he needed to be in. He was a great number 2 wide receiver for the Raiders. When you know, and that actually happened to be his best season is when he was a number 2 for the Raiders. So
Gabe Davis upgrade, baby.
Yeah. I'll take that. Because and here's the other thing too. Plays like that are heady plays. It didn't seem like Gabe Davis was a heady type of player. Right. You know, a guy that you know thinks the game on that level, like subsurface. You know what I mean? Like, man, if I just pull his hair, that might get on his nerves and take him out of the play at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I like that kind of stuff.
We just gotta find somebody from the West Coast to do the schmees every time he scores. That's why I just need the schmees back.
The what?
The schmees.
What is the schmees?
The dance. You gotta look it. I can't do it, so you gotta look it up.
You gotta try.
I cannot.
Can you show me, please?
I cannot.
I just want to. Laura, tell him.
I will not be doing no schmees anywhere. I will not be schmeezing.
Steve says, I won the Arkansas State Steak Championship this past weekend and number 2 steak cook in the world right now. You will eat well. Wow,
Jesus,
bro.
Let me find out Steve is world renowned.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got celebrities in the chat.
Exactly.
Jesus,
That's what I'm saying.
World renowned chef. Let's go.
This adds so much credibility to the show. I love
this. Is Noble, right?
Huh?
This
Steve
is
Noble, yeah.
That's my brother anyway.
What
Boo, Steve. I think who was the one I picked up today? Was it I picked one up today. David, maybe, and Roy. That's my
I
fam.
understand now. I understand now.
What?
When you listen, if you a good cook, you can't take crap, bro. The food gotta be out. It gotta be. You gotta be strict. You gotta be disciplined. Steve, I understand you.
Oh,
bro.
no. You think about the wrong Steve.
Huh?
This ain't Steve Lynn. This is Steve Noble. It's a different Steve.
But still, he's the same way, but just the opposite.
Yeah.
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
Right. Oh,
You
as
see
far
what I'm
as him,
saying?
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. No, that's a great point.
When it comes to cooking, like you got to be critical, man.
Yeah.
Food
That's a great
is
point.
You can't mess it up. It's got to be right.
Right.
It's got to be right.
Bonus Lex. I'm gonna give it to him because I missed you earlier. He said, "Yo, what is a schmeeze?"
I give it to him in text.
I know. I saw that. That was creative. To what? to what?
It's supposed to be an S at the end, but it autocorrects it. I don't know. It's Tenonius Lex.
Snap. Christina, listen, you know you're not gonna get denied. Why you even asking this question?
You can bite off Mel's plate.
She said, "Can the wives come eat too?" You know you going.
You can bite off Mel's plate.
Just because you said that, now you're gonna see a little hand reaching across the table. Catch a phantom tax over there. Yeah, really. All right. Do we have anything else?
Well, I'm all I'm going to say is this, in all seriousness. Why are you laughing? I say all seriously, he falls apart.
Yeah.
I got to get my benediction, okay?
Benediction?
Not really. So now that we know Steve is a chef,
okay,
you can't just eat. You got to wash it down with something.
No, not yet.
I thought you said we're getting out of here.
No, we got a producer queue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Well, can I just ruin the moment? Okay, screw it. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Zuni.
I'm sorry.
No, you ruined it. Not really. We're on good terms this week.
I'll take that. What's going on, producer? What you got?
So this is based on the Bills right now.
Okay.
Like you guys seeing how Josh Allen has been playing lately, and we're on the 7th win streak, right? If the Bills beat the Chiefs in the playoffs and they win the
Josh Allen. So the question was, if the Bills beat the Chiefs in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl, does this immediately put Josh Allen in talks for Hall of Fame? What do you think, fellas?
How can I answer this? No, because he's already in talks for Hall of Fame. I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer. He already is.
Yeah.
Based off his stats and what he's doing and the records that he's broken, he's already in the conversation. I do think that a win over Pat Mahomes and a Super Bowl ring just cements it.
Yeah.
First ballot. Because I think he's going in. He might not be first ballot.
I think he is.
But he might go in.
I think he's first ballot.
You think he's first ballot?
Yeah, I think Josh would have
Now, the reason why I said it's going to be tough for him first ballot, look at the quarterback class. Most people, when they come in, it's Tom Brady and who else? That's it. It's Peyton Manning. Who else?
That's true.
You got Lamar and Josh.
They'll go together. They're going together.
Just arm in arm, skipping down
Hold
the aisle.
hands. They'll go together. I mean, like
we started our career together. We're going to end it.
I likened it. Honestly, I likened it to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They came in the exact same year. They retired the exact same year. They were rivals the whole time. The whole time. From college even though Josh and Lamar were not. Magic beat Bird in the NCAA finals before they both got drafted at the same time. That's why Bird hated him.
They hated
each other.
Bro.
So Steve Lynn is saying, Mac, I want your thoughts on this real quick. He said JA-17 is a Hall of Famer right now, just needs one ring, one MVP for first ballot. You agree with that?
It all depends on how many goes in, because I don't know when they pick them. Does it matter what position goes in? Because
there's
you
no
gotta look at it like this too. You gotta if Josh and Lamar don't retire the same year, they're not eligible at the same time.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the draft class.
No, it's 5 years or 5 years from when you retire. I think it's 5 years.
5 years. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was thinking about.
Okay.
You got both perennial elite quarterbacks coming in the same draft class.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. Have we ever seen multiple quarterbacks go in the same Hall of Fame class?
I don't know.
I'm sure not lately, but I'm sure we have.
Oh, all right.
I haven't seen many. Have I seen many that even had two finalists lately? That's the thing. I don't even think we've seen that.
No, it's usually multiple wide receivers, running backs, and
linemen now.
Yeah,
coaches.
Yeah, coaches. Yep.
Everybody's going on.
Yeah, but my throat is really dry right now, bro.
No, you know whose throat's gonna be dry?
Who?
Lamar and Josh when they go to the MVP, when they go to the Hall of Fame. You know what they need to quench those thirsts?
What do they need?
Some Reed's tea.
Oh, I could use a Reed's tea.
They need some Reed's tea because it's one part refreshing, one part delicious, and it's two parts healthy.
Over there?
Now,
coughing.
Now, see, when they're 35, 40 years old, you got to be healthy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why you're delicious and why you're refreshed? Because those speeches be long, fellas. Those speeches be real long. But let me tell you this: you can get your Reed's tea by the case, individual. By then, you can get it by the truckload. So what are you doing? Get your Reed's tea before it becomes a worldwide sensation and the price is astronomical and I can't even afford to say the name anymore. If you don't agree with me and how good this tea may be, head on over to Reed's and see for yourself. Reed's tea. Click the link in the description. Use the code DO and let them know who sent you.
All right. I like it. Listen, Reed's tea is getting ready to come up. I was just talking to my pop, and there are some. You're going to start seeing a lot of them. So you need to get in where you fit in because this tea is the truth. I'm telling you, it's coming at you. It's coming at you, right? But guess what else is coming at you? OLI.
He's getting better, OLI. He's getting better.
I got this outro for you right now, baby. If you're hearing that, hopefully you can hear the music and me at the same time. Hopefully it ain't busting your eardrums out. Let me don't you start. Don't you start. I need to get out of here on time. I need to get here. I need to get us out of here on time. No, it's not. Oh my. Fine.
Yo, bro.
All right, listen. Please, if you have not already, for those of you that commented in the chat, if this was your first time, you're now part of the Podium podcast family. There's no bones about it. You can't get out of it. It's not a jumped in, jumped out situation. You're stuck. It's like going to prison. You never get out. So with that said, if you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so that you can get notifications when we send notifications. and I don't have any examples for you right now, so I'm gonna just move past that. Are you still laughing at that?
Basketball Truth and Knowledge on
right.
YouTube.
Yeah. Listen, if you
my
like
nephew,
basketball
his
and
son.
you want to hear some basketball talk and basketball history and anything basketball, my oldest son Junior's got his own podcast. It's called Basketball Truth and Knowledge.
Sorry, we don't need that. Somehow we don't need the monitor. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know.
It just died.
It's all right.
It's coming back on.
Oh, okay.
You messed up now.
Yeah, but that means the music stopped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did it?
It looked like it's still going.
Who cares? I don't know.
It's fine.
Listen.
They know the gist of it.
You're right. All right. This has been the Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
Big dubs.
And we out of
40
here
keys.
on time, just for you, OLI. We out. Peace.
Peace.